Is it going live? I think we're live now. Oh, damn. We got people. We got seats filled already here. Holy shit. Holy shit. People are in the house already. Bad Karma. What up? He was here first, dude. Oh, shit. We got Trillavision Media. Let's go. Frank Hassett. What's up? Let's go. Stuart Monroe. Stuart, mate. What's going on over there in Australia, mate? Who is Justin going to pick a fight with today? Who's Justin going to pick a fight with today? We love you, Stuart. I gotta get to Australia. I gotta get gone. You want to know why I'll never be able to go to Australia? Because I can't swim that far. There's no way I can fly a plane all the way to Australia. Guys, we have to do a disclaimer here. Let me know if the audio sounds bad. Let me know if the video is okay. I just now noticed tonight that the OBS actually lowers the contrast of the image. I hate that. Prentice Ryan Sneed. He's a YouTube member. That's what that logo means. He's a YouTube member. Thank you for your support, Prentice. We love you, bro. Okay, so check it out, guys. I have to make a disclaimer. I don't know if you guys saw this. I said I should clarify right off the bat. The title and thumbnail are a joke. I never had any overheating issues with the Komodo, but we all know, as I showed in another video, in the beginning, Reds came with ice packs. Don't forget. Don't forget. Let me know if you saw the newest video, the Nikon ZR debate. I think all of you saw it by now. It instantly climbed to my #1 video in the past 48 hours, so that's dope. It actually climbed to my #1. Actually, by the first hour, it climbed to #1 of all of my past 10 videos. So we're on to something here. Yo, Louis Jadot, sound is good. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we got the disclaimer out of the way. It is true. I guess there is some debate. There's some... Gracie wants to say hello to you guys. I don't know if you hear her out there. It's our little Devin Rex cat. She's running around. Yo, that clip was gold. Thank you, Stuart. Cog mission in the house. Yeah, Brandon Talbot shot in the desert with the ZR and had no problems whatsoever. Yep, exactly. So, yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about because someone sent me a German guy. So shout out to, I believe it was Lannis that sent this email to me. It's a German guy. We're going to look at it because he had insane temperatures going. It's pretty gnarly, but I want us to like look at everything else first, kind of talk about it because I guess there is this debate. There's this, and that's what I wanted to say. Like, this isn't actually like a hit piece. Like I know you guys were maybe thinking it would be, but here's my, because people were reaching out to me and I haven't even fucking touched the camera, right? But people are reaching out to me like wanting, to talk about the overheating issues, and I get it. But the problem is like I don't take anyone's advice when it comes to overheating on a camera. And it's mainly because there's too many variables involved, right? It's like, I don't care what Gerald finds. I don't care what anybody finds. Like, they're not going to find what I'm going to find when it comes to overheating because we're all using these cameras differently. We're all using them in way different environments. Like I was thinking about this today, because I grew up in Florida, but I've lived in LA for like the past 14, 13 years. So the difference between and the difference is like both Florida and LA can hit 100 degrees easy, but 100 degrees in Florida feels a lot different than 100 degrees in LA, right? It could be 100 degrees here in Los Angeles. You can step in the right shade and get the right breeze on you, and you'd be like, damn, I forgot it was 100 degrees right now. That will never happen to you in Florida. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends like what location you're at. That's going to greatly affect those cameras. Also, like, how are you powering these cameras? But also, what codec are you shooting with these cameras, right? There's a lot of variables involved. So that's why I really don't care about people like saying, oh, it overheats or saying it doesn't overheat. I just made that comment in the video because it was funny, right? Because we all know like every YouTuber is talking about the fact that it has no fans. So like, my bad side, right? Because that was the whole point of that video, like good Justin, bad Justin, right? Good cop, bad cop, right? So the bad cop does have to throw that in there like, yo, it's probably only 12-bit RAW because it doesn't have a fucking fan, right? That was the joke. But there is this other side. I guess there's this other online discourse where people are saying like, oh, it's only the shills saying that it's going to overheat because they're Sony shills or they're Canon shills. And I guess like some YouTubers are getting attacked for that, for saying that the Nikon overheats just because they're being critical of it or whatever. But I guess certain audience people or certain people online, Reddit users, whoever it is, right, are basically wanting to say like it's shills saying that. I don't know. All I'm saying is that a camera, to judge the overheating, it's an individual discovery. You know what I mean? That's how I feel deep down. I really, really do. I really firmly believe in that. But we can't like the thumbnail obviously is It was funny to me because we can't overlook the fact that, yo, remember when Reds came with ice packs, right? Remember when everybody with the Red one, or even a couple of Reds after that, were like having to put ice packs on the camera? Like, that was a known thing. Like, that was a known meme on the internet, right? So I thought it was funny that now people are talking about the ZR might overheat, and it just is a funny thing to me, right? Like, to me, it was a joke. That's what I'm always looking for. I'm always looking for the easy joke. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was thinking, like, damn, this is a good week for me. 3 videos in 1 week. But it's because there's so much material right now. Like, I look at it as a comedian, right? Like, this is all material for me. But at the same time, like, yeah, I'm also a nerdy camera guy, right? So there's also that aspect to it too. But here's the thing, like, because honestly, guys, I made that whole Nikon video and I didn't even look at the friggin' specs of this. Like, I didn't really look at all the specs of it. I looked at like the base specs. The main one I go for is the rolling shutter. Like, like the rolling shutter is hands down the main one that I care about. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I shared it in my video in my newest video, right? So this is straight from CVP. I credited them with this. This is crazy to me, right? This right here, this to me was like the clincher in a lot of aspects, because go look at their video of their rolling shutter test on the Canon C50. It was really high, like 12. Like one of them, I believe, was. One of them was only 12 milliseconds, but there was one that was like 18 milliseconds. I don't know. I should have pulled it up. It was gnarly rolling shutter on the Canon C50 though, right? And I know a lot of you guys think I'm like an idiot for always talking about rolling shutter, but I care about rolling shutter. I care about rolling shutter. I can show you plenty of examples in my own work where it matters, but that's because like I shoot everything handheld. I don't use gimbals. I don't care about active stabilization. I care about rolling shutter. Why? Because I'm always on an easy rig and the cameras I have don't have active stabilization, right? So in that aspect, I care about rolling shutter a lot. It matters, especially when you fuck up your shot and the buildings in the background are a little slanted, and when you're on rolling shutter, it makes it that much worse. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about very run and gun shooting, documentary style shooting. It's gnarly, right? So for me, that's why I care about rolling shutter so much. But to see that performance on that little baby camera, that was wild to me, right? But a lot of people are wanting to get into this discourse about the overheating issues. Now, someone brought it up to me. They were like, dude, everybody that shoots Nikon, I guess, diehard Nikon users, everyone's talking about like, dude, the Nikons don't overheat. Like, apparently that's a known thing amongst the Nikon crowd. So let it be known in the chat if you're a Nikon user, and let us know if that's true. Apparently, like, every Nikon user is saying that they don't overheat. The problem is, I think where like guys like me would hear that and go, yeah, but you know what the difference is? No Nikon up to this point shot R3D RAW. Like, no camera shot R3D RAW up to this point on a Nikon. You know what I'm saying? So how do you know that it won't overheat with R3D? But then someone sent me a test. We're going to get into it in a minute. Let me get caught up on these comments real quick. Yeah, Brandon Talbot, I love his stuff. I just recently kind of discovered him, I think. Shout out to Cognition. He's a YouTube member. Thank you, guys. That's how these guys are getting these little logos in here, because they support the show. It's like 99 cents a month. There's membership only videos over there. Hey, I gotta shill my shill, dude. But yeah, Brandon Talbot shot in the desert with the ZR and had no problems whatsoever. So there you go. But right now, it is the hottest time right now out here, honestly. So yeah. When Stuart says, when I was shooting photos at a gig last year, there were 2 guys using red cameras and it was 97 degrees Fahrenheit. They were putting the red Monstros and another model in the fridges to keep them cool. Yeah, so that's Stuart. I don't know how much of that is true, but I kind of believe it, honestly. Cognition makes Canon... Hold up, guys. Makes Canon look really bad if Nikon can keep their camera cool with passive cooling and they can't. Yeah, so that's what I was going to get into, because when I heard that about how all the Nikon users just know that the cameras don't overheat out of their own experience, I immediately thought of the Sigma FP. And you guys remember how the Sigma FP does its thing, right? Like the Sigma the Simga I wrote the Simga FP, the Sigma FP heat sink, or so, I don't know, I call it heat sink. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, it's called a large heat sink. So that's immediately what my brain thought of. I thought of like the design of the old Sigma FP here. So this guy right here, like this is shown. So there was a video that was sent to me of a German YouTuber doing this same kind of thermal test on the Nikon ZR while shooting an R3D RAW. So we're going to look at that in a minute. I just want to get caught up on these comments real quick. I am legitimately considering picking one of these up. It feels like a spiritual successor to the Sigma FP without the need for the EVF. Just hope they add other monitoring tools. Yeah, I'm with you, dude. 100%. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, this thing drop kicks the Sigma FP into the dirt. Like it stomped on the Sigma FP's face and just said, just left it there, dude. For someone like me, you know, now here's the thing, like, you guys know I shot the Sigma FP all by itself too. That's why I paid the extra money for the EVF, and that's why I paid the extra money to have the terabyte SSD that like locked in with no cables, because I loved it. Like, and now it's like, damn, this is it. Like for me, 3 years ago, this camera would have been it, but nowadays it ain't it for me no more, right? But 3 years ago, this would have been like, bam. And I was thinking about this today too. I'm like, this is the camera for entry level guys, or if you're already in the Nikon system or you're already in the Red system. Like it makes sense for those guys, right? Sadly, I had bowed out of the Red system way before this thing was even dreamt of, you know? So, you know, but you know, it's like, do I regret selling the Komodo? No, because this is still like a different mount thing. And here's the thing too, like you can adapt Sony lenses to Nikon cameras. So this isn't permanently out of my, but for me, like, I think someone said it best. I was watching someone's channel and they said like, yo, I want to see the $4,000 version of this. Show me the $4,000 version of this and then we'll talk. And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of in that boat too, because this isn't like, this is like too entry level and it's not enough to make me want to jump systems. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not about to get rid of my FX6 to totally jump to this. And it's also a little bit too random to just pick one up for me, right? I'm not that kind of guy. Like I don't enjoy collecting cameras, but I do think like this is the new entry level cinema camera 100%, you know, like, so in my opinion, bye-bye Blackmagic Pocket cinema cameras. In my opinion, bye-bye Sigma FP. Like, no joke, like this is it, you know? And I think why is because, well, it's the Red Code RAW, right? If this Red Code RAW can prove, and only time will show, if this Red Code RAW can prove that it's the real deal, you know, that it can hold it down, then I mean, this camera's got it all, you know, and I think the biggest draw is like, well, now you can have autofocus and stabilization on a fucking Red camera. Like that's gnarly to think of that, right? It's and the fact that they went with this screen, you guys know I love minimalist compact shit. So, but again, it's not enough for me to be like, fuck, I'm gonna get one of those. But I just think like, damn. And then someone left a comment saying like, damn, like I'm eating humble pie now because I talked about all that shit. But I mean that's what I do. That's what jokesters do. Like I always talk shit. You know what I mean? I talk shit about Sony for a very long time, and now I own 3 Sony cameras. You know what I mean? Like I'm just the dude to talk shit. You know what I mean? Like that's what most like, you know, kind of jokesters do. But at the end of the day, like I'm still not gonna sit here and talk shit about something that I know. Like I'm like, damn, this is pretty rad, right? Like not even I can deny that, yo, this is rad. But for me, someone in my position, it's not rad enough, but it is rad to see like, okay, but I am still like upset about the traffic light goalposting 100%. That does kind of annoy me to where I'm like, honestly, that's how anal I am. Like in my brain, it's not a red until it gets those traffic lights and goalposts. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not, is this not, in my opinion. And I've already talked ad infinitum of that in the other videos. If you didn't see my YouTube video this week, go check it out. But anyways, let me try to get caught up on these comments now. I've been ranting a little much here, dude. I am legitimately considering picking one of these up. Yeah, dude, 100%. I'm so used to EL Zone, but at worst, I could import my own false color LUT. So yo, Kirby P Films in the house. Thank you, bro. Thank you for that. What's up, Justin? Keep up the great work. Thank you, my dude. We appreciate the support, dude. Check out the members videos, man, if you guys want, dude. It's the #1 way to support the show. It's only 99 cents. We got some rad new shirts that Marianne designed. The link is down below. A lot of people mistake the TE on the Komodo. When the T is red, they think it's overheating, but it's just the black shading that's needed from the temperature change in the environment. 100%. That's 100% true, Jason Morbies. Yeah, I should have done a video on that shit. I should have done a video on that stuff too. Yeah, 100%. What's up, JP? Ko-Omar, what is up, dude? 18 millisecond for non-stack 33 megapixels CMOS isn't too bad. Just look at FX2, LOL. I know, but that's not cool, man. Like, that's what I'm saying, though. That's too much. That's too much, bro. The FX6 is 7 milliseconds. You know what I'm saying? 7 milliseconds, bro. Okay, it's something like that. Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I'm the same way. Take a jab just for humor's sake. We all shouldn't take any of this too seriously. 100%, bro. 100%. I love it when my sensor bounces around the chamber. Stabilization for the win. I remember anytime I was in like a group, like a Facebook group, and someone new bought the Sony cameras, they'd be like, is my camera broken? Every time I pick it up, there's something inside jiggling. And everyone, it's like 20 comments. It's the sensor. Yo, not that you said anything about the Komodo overheating, just kind of venting on the misunderstanding out there. Me? Oh, you. No, I know. What small Nikon lens best suits this camera if you're just starting with one and want something compact? I don't fucking know, dude. You see, that's my other complaint about this camera. It's a Nikon. Like what I said, I meant in my video, bro. I hate that it's backwards. And I'm gonna tell you, the moment it happened for me when I said no to Nikon. Because you guys remember, I had the Zeiss Milvus lenses. Remember, everybody remembers when I had the Zeiss Milvus lenses, beautiful lenses. I was using them on the Komodo. Here's the problem though. I bought the Nikon ZF mount Milvus lenses. Why did I do that? Well, because the Nikon Milvus lenses actually has a physical aperture, whereas the Canon EF mount did not. The Canon for whatever reason, the Canon EF Zeiss Milvus mount is electronic aperture. There it is. There's the EF, and look at the ZF, right? The ZF has a physical aperture ring, and you could even declick it, which was cool. So all of my Milvus lenses were the Nikon ZF, and then adapted to EF to go onto the Komodo. The downside is I was shooting these Milvuses alongside the Leica Rs. Well, here's the fucking problem, dude. You know, you shoot on the Milvuses for a couple weeks. They're Nikon lenses, so they focus the wrong way. So then you're like, fuck. So you spend like a day getting used to that new, you know, for my brain anyways. And I know not everybody is as dumb as me. But dude, like I have to like my brain had to re-register like, fuck, I'm going the wrong way. You know, like, and then you shoot on the Milvuses for long enough, you get used to it. You get used to focusing that way. And then you do a job where you're using the Leica Rs, or you literally any other lens besides a fucking Nikon mount, and then like my brain goes fuck, and then for like the first half of the day I'm focusing the wrong fucking way, and it's like god damn it. And so I made the choice right then and there, and I know a lot of you are like, dude, Justin's fucking crazy, but this is how I am. I was like, dude, I'm done with Nikon shit, dude, because it just like it literally messed me up. It messed me up a lot, to where, and that's what I said in the video, like consistency is key, dude. So like, and I know like who the fuck is shooting like, but I was shooting like paid work with the Milvus lenses, and then you know you use them for a while. Not every job is gonna want those Milvus lenses, so that's why I also had the Leicas and the Minoltas, right? Even the Minoltas went the right way, you know. It's like, well, what our brains, what my brain calls the right way, you know. So that's like my biggest complaint about it, and it does kind of annoy me a little bit. But you know, here we go. We got a caller, Phoenix, Arizona.
Jay.
Jay, you're live on the air. Make sure that you have your audio down. If you're listening to me live somewhere, it might mess you up with the slight lag. What's going on?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I hear you good.
Yeah, so the reason this camera was very intriguing, and you might have touched on some of these spots before I tuned in, but to me, this is almost like everything that I thought a Sigma FP version 2 would be, or it almost solves all the things I hated about the Black Magic cameras, the pocket cameras. The Sigma FP was a great camera, but it didn't have a tilting screen. And internally, you couldn't really record RAW unless it was 1080p. You could do it to an SSD or external monitor. So this fixes that. The Black Magic pocket bodies, I've heard you talk about it, and of course I feel the same way. Their bodies, I think, were some of the worst in the industry in terms of ergonomics. This fixes that as well. So then the next thing is like, all right, the heat problem. Now, one thing I want to know is, that could potentially solve this is there external recording RAW? So meaning, can we record over with the external monitor? Because usually when you do that, that solves a lot of the heating issues. I don't know if you've seen anything about that.
Yeah, we can. I think that would be pretty easy to find out about. I'm gonna do some digging right now. I'm not offhand. Like I said, I didn't. I mean, honestly, I didn't really research it a whole lot before I did like my little goofy video, but I think we could easily find out about that, or someone in the chat probably knows. They probably will let us know right now if they know about it, because plenty of people have been doing. I mean, so many people have been dropping videos about this. But I guess maybe.
Well, one thing about that too is the, not to cut you off, but I've seen two videos. One of them was from your best friend with the long hair and glasses, who I won't say his name, who did some test out in the desert. Apparently it didn't overheat, right? Now I saw another person test it who put it in like an incubator that was supposed to be about 104 degrees, and it did actually overheat within about, I think it was about 13 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I'm anxious to see, like, you know, where is that, because I live in an area where in the summertime it's 110 degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
So that part is the most important, because if it doesn't have that, that could mess up everything. But I did want to talk about something you spoke about last week. You're not a big fan of these camera bodies that are more DSLR style camera bodies. And I get that in terms of production, but this is why this camera is so important to me. This camera this type of camera allows me to get shots that I probably normally wouldn't be able to get in certain environments. For example, some of my documentary and short films, some of the best shots that I've gotten were in places that really I wasn't allowed to be filming in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have walked into that spot with the FX6 or a red Komodo. They would have said, hey, what are you doing here? You can't film here.
100%.
I've snuck in a Sigma FT, I've snuck in a Sigma FT to a hotel to get a shot with one of my actors that I would have never been able to get. And the beautiful thing about these small bodies is they're not compromising on the power. You know, if you saw somebody with a Sigma FT out in public, you think it's like a little funny little Instagram camera.
Oh yeah.
You know, it looks small.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're a movie guy, so I know you'll get this reference. The Sigma FT and maybe this camera too, the ZR, they're like the little cricket camera from Men in Black.
Yeah.
Where it looks like some small little pea shooter, but then all of a sudden it's packed with a whole bunch of power. So I'm excited about this camera because it can do something, which is fix the Blackmagic's pockets terrible form factor, and then all the features that the Sigma FT didn't have, this will have. So I'm excited about it, but yeah, we appreciate you staying honest on YouTube, calling out some of these other people and calling things how they are. We appreciate that.
All right, brother. I thank you so much. What camera are you currently shooting on?
Man, I keep it when I found something that works and I hadn't found a reason to change it. That's the Ursa 4.6K G2, man.
Ooh, shit. All right. Rocking it old school. All right, brother. Thank you for calling in, man.
Take care.
Yeah, so he was saying in there, I saw someone in there did say, yeah, you can record external. That was like his main question. And yeah, in here, when I scroll down to the bottom, it does say recording and output. So it does say there is a, we all know about the micro HDMI. That output, what I find interesting, it says it allows you to output to a display or recording device. So yeah, but I mean, so yeah, like he brought up some good points. I guess someone found some overheating issues, someone didn't. So we've been in here now for an hour. Holy shit, it goes by so fast, guys. So I want to get into this screenshot. This is from a German YouTuber. It's a German video, so I cannot understand a word they were saying. Again, shout out to who emailed me this. I can't pull up the video because YouTube's weird about that shit. But you will see, damn, we got another call.
From Stuart Monroe Photography.
Stuart Monroe.
Press 1 to send a...
Stuart Monroe Photography.
How are you, mate?
What's good?
Oh, not much. I just come home and I'm doing some product shots, and I hate macro photography. I've just realised it was the first time I've done it. So,
ooh.
Yeah, and then we're going to some aperture night tonight. They're showing all their new light.
Damn.
Yeah, but yeah, I wasn't lying about that red thing. They were putting their cameras in the fridge where they took all the drinks out for the artists that were playing, and it was so hot. It was almost 40 degrees, mate. So,
that's Celsius, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Celsius. And then, what's it called? Yeah, but I was laughing that those cameras, they're like $30,000 and they're putting it in a freezer, basically. So it's terrible. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed your new video, and I've got nothing negative to say, so I just thought I'd say hello.
Yeah, dude, I love that. Well, it was good that you clarified that was a true story about putting the monstros in the fridge.
No idea it was. Even my friend that was helping me is not into filming, and he's like, why would they put them in there? And I said, they it's like a gaming PC. I said, overheated,
Yeah,
so,
dude, that's hilarious. Oh, shit, man.
Anyway, yeah, I won't take up too much of your time. Do you love how I said called you Cam as well?
Yeah, I was digging the comment until then. I was like, that's shit.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Anyway, I'll let you get back to it, and I'll. Oh, that's what one thing I was going to say. When I watch your show, your wife sounds so serious, and I think it's great. You know, 'cause it's good to have someone that to keep you straight. It's almost
Yeah.
like a cattle prod, I guess, when you get a bit, side to side.
Oh yeah.
Get a bit excited, I guess.
Oh yeah. She's definitely
But anyway.
yeah, she's definitely my editor.
Yeah, good. No, that's all right. Oh, anyway, I'll let you get back to it, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, Stuart. Thanks for calling, brother.
Oh, yeah, tell people to subscribe to my channel, too. I need some followers.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, guys, give Stuart Monroe Photography some love, man.
No, it's Stuart Munro Video on
Oh, that
YouTube.
makes sense. That makes sense. It's video. Okay, that's cool. So it's
All
video.
right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, brother.
All right.
Later.
See you, mate. Bye.
Oh shit, Stuart Monroe, longtime caller. So it's good that he brought that up. So they were putting red monstros in the fridge. It's hilarious, dude. So check this out. This German dude, 48. Notice this temperature. This is the hottest it got. So he was saying it never overheated in RAW. He filled up an entire 1 terabyte card. This is with the Nikon ZR. You can see he used a thermal camera, and the temperature would range from 45 Celsius all the way up to 48.5 degrees Celsius. So for us, that's 119 degrees Fahrenheit. 119 degrees Fahrenheit. And it never overheated in RAW and filled up a full 1 terabyte card while recording RAW. Full 1 terabyte. Now, again, this is one of those situations where it's like, yeah, but we don't know the conditions, dude. Germany? Does it even get hot in Germany? I don't know anything about Germany. But who knows? But I mean, it was hot as fuck. It was 112 degrees, but that's the temperature of how hot the camera got, right? So it's showing like it gets pretty fucking hot without like. Now, here's the thing too. We didn't get to review the whole 1 terabyte of footage to see like, dude, is there any blurbs? Is there any glitches in this? Because that's happened to me on a Sony camera before, because sometimes like the Sony cameras, you can override the heat, and sometimes you get the footage and there'll be like a little glitch every now and then. You're like, damn, dude. And I think it's just because the camera got a little too hot. You know what I'm saying? But look, also, it's not that, I mean, here's the thing, with these little tiny cameras, it's not the end of the world. You can get a little fan. I had to do it for the A7C II, like, immediately, because I'm doing these live streams. Some of these live streams go, like, 2.5 hours, so thanks for that, guys. But I'm saying, like, get a little $40 fan. It's just another pain in the ass, though, I get it, especially with the one I got, because mine gets really super cold. I just bought the small rig one, $39. It gets really, really cold. It's shitty, though, because it has no internal battery. So now you basically have to, like, have a V mount on the tripod or something stupid. You know what I mean? It's not ideal. But I'm pretty sure they make ones that have built-in rechargeable batteries too, like on the fan. But I understand it's like one piece of like thing, but that's such a simple fix, like a $39 fix, if that is an issue. You know what I'm saying? If it is an issue, where a lot of people are saying like, I don't know, you can record for a full terabyte and the camera got to damn 48. But that's also concerning too. Like, why is the camera getting that hot? Like, why is the camera getting 112 degrees Fahrenheit, dude? That's like, holy shit, dude. Like, would you even be able to touch it? Would you even be able to touch a camera that got that hot? That's crazy to me. All right, I just want to get caught up on these comments real quick. Just drinking my little Baker's mango passion thing. I don't know. I've never been to Baker's before. I think I mainly went there because I wanted to see if the van would fit. I'm too lazy, so I've never like measured the height of my van, but I saw the clearance was 10 feet, and I was like, yo, let me see if I can get the van under there. Isn't that hilarious? Only going to drive through to see if I'll fit. Oh man, we fit. We fit with flying colors, by the way. All right, let's see. We got to get caught up here. PR scrambling to bring down the ZR. Can't beat that price though. Support ZR for the other cameras to bring down their prices. Okay. Oh yeah, he said what small Nikon lens? I found you one, bro. I found you a really good small Nikon lens. If you were starting out, because again, this is kind of the perfect like start out camera, like first cinema camera. Now look, if you wanted an auto, I don't know shit about Nikon lenses, but I saw this thing and I'm like, dude, that would be the lens I get. Just because how tiny it is. And it's an f2. It's a 40mm f2. I feel like 40mm, you guys know, I'm a sucker for a 40mm focal length. I fell in love with the 40mm focal length like 3 years ago. And it's all I've shot on for like the past 3 years. And it all started with the Leica M 40 mil. I started shooting the Leica M rangefinders with a 40 mil, and it was downhill from there. Like, I love 40 mil focal length, and this is pretty rad. It's only $200. Look, I'm not trying to sell you shit. I don't fuck, like, Nikon hates me probably. Like, I'm just saying, like, he was looking for look how tiny this thing is. It's a little, it could be a smaller. It's still a 52 mil, so it's not quite like like that. Like, honestly, 52 millimeter filter, that's a bigger front than like the Sony G lenses, but it looks so much shorter. Let's look at these specs real quick. Now I'm just interested like how tiny this lens is. Also, guys, if you're Nikon, let me know, like, is this their smallest lens, this 40 f2, or do they have an even smaller one? I'm just thinking of like, what's the best smallest lens to take advantage of that Nikon autofocus, like Nikon to Nikon, you know? Because I mean, if you want to get the best autofocus out of any camera, you're going to want to use like that camera brand lens, right? We all know that. We can all accept that, right? This thing's tiny though. It only weighs 170 grams. Oh yeah, that thing's tiny. It's only 1.8 inches long. Dude, that thing is tiny. That's rad, dude. That's probably what I would get. You know how tiny that'd be, that little tiny autofocus lens? The guy that called in earlier, he was talking about sneaking in places. Dude, that'd be hilarious with autofocus. It's only a 40 mil, but who cares? I mean, that's like, I just feel like that's the perfect focal length. Anyways, let's get back into this real quick. Sigma for the win. Really? Oh, Simga. Simga. No traffic lights, not a red. 100%, bro. So when we get in one, bud, it will go great with matching Leroon skate bikes. No, I'm not getting one of these. I'm not getting this. I would only get this if it was for quail prices. Is it a bad thing that 6K 12-bit R3D is available at 2K? Yo, that's funny you brought that up. Someone else brought this up. Look at this. So Phil Holland dropped this. So apparently, like, okay, apparently there's a hack for the Nikon RAW, because this thing shoots R3D NE RAW, but it also shoots Nikon RAW, which apparently has the NEV. So Phil Holland just posted this on Facebook where he was saying that apparently there's like a hack in Resolve where you can change the NEV to R3D later on in Resolve. That's interesting, right? But also it's like, who the hell, like, and even Phil said it, he was like, I'd stick to Red Code RAW for raw recording. And yeah, that's how I feel too. It's like, who would be buying this camera to shoot in anything else other than Red Code RAW? Like, that wouldn't make any sense, right? Like, why would you shoot in any other codec? So that was like my first thought too, when they showed all the codecs. Like, look at all the codecs. This isn't it. Where's the codec one? It's way over here. Hold on. Let me pull this over real quick. Look at all the codecs. You might have to blow this up on the big screen here. 100%, you're gonna have to blow this up. There's so many codecs this camera has, which is just insane, right? And like 3 different flavors of RAW, but it's like, why though? Like, why 3 different flavors of RAW? I don't understand that. It's almost like someone that's like, it's like failure to commit, you know? It's like, which one should we do? It's like, dude, just choose the best one, bro. Choose the best one. But I guess, like, I don't know. But I guess, like, it comes down to, are not all 3 of these compatible in Resolve? And I think the question to that is no, they're not. And that's why you have to do the hack with the Nikon RAW. And it's like, oh, so you have to change the NEV to R3D in Resolve. It's cool that you can do that, but it's also kind of weird too. And then someone had this one comment where he was saying, my concern is this. See it over here in the corner? Oh, you can barely see that. Hold up, let me drag this over. So he says, my concern is this. Could the new ZR R3D NE simply be a rebranded version of the NEV quality compression file just baked straight out of the camera? Because if that's the case, damn. But then Phil Holland straight up was like, no, it's raw data. But that was interesting. Like, I was like, damn. What, like, like, what if that was a thing? Basically saying like it's fake raw, you know? But Phil seems certain that, you know, he would know. It's the real deal. He's a red guy. Like, he's in here on the developing floor, you know. But these bit rates, I mean, are insane. But also just the specs to me are pretty insane. I didn't even, like, dude, that's how much, like, I care more about rolling shutter than, like, frame rates. And I know, like, 100%, like, 98.9% of everyone else is going to be more concerned with frame rates versus rolling shutter performance, but not me. The first thing, like, when the CVP video came out, all I did was jump straight to the rolling shutter chapter. That's all I cared about. Well, also the footage. The footage was rad. I watched the footage and then I jumped to the rolling shutter readout. I really like the footage of the bison or whatever those weird animals were. Like, if you notice their fur, their fur when it goes. I'm not gonna play it because you know I refuse to play anyone else's YouTube videos, but you know during the stream because there's it's a whole thing, you know. But you know. The bison with the stuff flowing was very nice. That's what I'll say. And why you want to pay attention to that stuff is because that's a little bit of those fine details, you know, because even when the Komodo first came out on the Red website, you know, they had a lot of that stuff. You know, what is their website? What is it? I just had it on here. Oh yeah, it's red.com. Doi, 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 doi. So like if you just go to their main page, like they used to show like killer footage, and a lot of it, like especially when the Komodo first came out, they had like a full little thing, they might still be on here, of like detail shots and shit, you know, of like hair blowing. And that's the whole point, like to choose the different compressions. So that's like another thing too. Apparently that little ZR does not have like different compression rates, apparently, right? That's a thing, right guys? Like you just like it only does one compression rate, and that's why, like, you know, these files are so huge. But what I imagine is that these are like probably like MQ quality compression. I would imagine these are like MQ quality. I would hope they're at least MQ. Because someone was talking about that with their Komodo. They're like, I always shoot LQ. I'm like, what? I never shot LQ. I never shot LQ with the Komodo. Never. Ever. It just seemed like I don't know, like why? Like even if it's for YouTube, I wouldn't care, dude. I would still do MQ all day long. Just for like the fine detail shit, you know? I just like that. It was more about like compression issues and things. Anyways, yo, Nikon ZR is interesting for the price, but remember this is the first release of a new line of products, so I would wait before buying this one. This is the first step to kill red for good. Oh shit, dude. No, yeah, exactly. This is the beginning. Like this is the beginning. Here's a joke though, dude. Like they did this with the ZF. And that made a little bit more sense. Hold up, can you see this? Oh, no, you can't see it. Hold on, let me put it over here. They did this with the ZF, and it was like, I guess in that camera it made sense, because that is like their photo-centric camera, right? The ZF is the one that looks like a hipster camera. It's like literally the same aesthetic as the original Nikon F film camera or something bullshit like that. So I guess then it made sense. But to like, for this, I'm just like, what? Why? Like, this is a cinema camera with a micro SD card in it? That is so weird to me. It's like is it for LUTs or something? Like, I'm like, what is going on here, dude? Like, I don't know. That's the one thing to me that felt a little weird. Because I mean, maybe if you wanted to like record H.264s to this little thing at the same time or something, like, I don't know. Maybe that's the proxy card. I guess that's okay. But it's just like the little tiny card, really? Here's something else I wanted to talk shit about too, though, real quick, because it's not all sunshines and rainbows with me, you know, obviously. And yeah, it's 100% I would not buy this, but I'm not the market for this camera. You know, new guys are, Nikon guys are, red guys are. I'm just not the market. But like, I was looking at this too, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why do we need this USB-C cable right here? Like if I saw this, and like my first thought would be like, dude, take that out and give me a full-size HDMI, because these two little plugs to me both are useless. I'm sorry, but they are. These are useless to me, and I would rather take a full-size HDMI than these two dumb things. I don't care about charging the camera via USB-C. I just don't, because to me, I look at that and it's just another cable to get broken. You know what I'm saying? Like it's another port. Honestly, it's a port to get broken, not the cable. I give a fuck less about the cable. It's another port to get broken. Right? Because those little USB-C cables are not very strong. You know, they're a little bit stronger than these micro HDMIs, but I mean, come on, these are both laughable to me. And the fact that they stick out the side of the camera on the same side as the screen, I hate that. That's one of my biggest complaints about like the Sony cameras too, is like, I hate the fact that that all these cables stick out on the same side as the screen. I don't know. It's like a minor complaint. And why for the screen? Well, there's multiple reasons. One, if you're like a live streamer or something, like right now, I'm looking at two fucking cables across the screen of this A7C II on this live stream, right? But obviously, like, yo, this isn't a vlogging camera. Okay, fine. But it's still right there where your hand is gonna be, right? Like if you're holding a camera like this, right? You know, most guys or women put their other fucking hand right here, you know, like you hold the camera like this, right? You hold the camera like this. So why the fuck are all the cables sticking out right where my hand goes? That's just a complaint about all cameras that I have, you know, mirrorless cameras. Obviously, you're not going to have that problem with the FX6, right? There ain't no cables coming out the side of this thing, right? And I realize it's like, well, where else is it going to come out of? And yeah, that's a wonderful question. That's why, right? There's nowhere else for the cables to come out of, because the other side is definitely the other hand. So it's like, I just wish that we could come up with a solution for this. But it's just just another reason why I got away from these mirrorless bodies, because it's just like, it's just a pain in the ass. But again, that's why they give you the amazing monitor. They're probably hoping you're not going to use this shit because the monitor is that good. And honestly, you know, what I say in the video on all fronts, both good and bad or funny or whatever, it's all true to me. You know, like every joke is rooted in truth, you know, and I 100%, I think the screen is the best fucking part of this camera, right under the R3D, right? But again, I can't speak to the R3D because I don't know if it would handle bullshit that I shoot, right? Because I like to break stuff, you know, like, and what I mean by that is I like to break the image. I like to break the image, and I'll do it even on a job, like I'm not crazy, right? So it's like a lot of the times, like, that's what I don't know about. And that's why I say, like, well, we already know that it's like I said in the video, we already know that it's like red code raw on training wheels, right? We already know that because it's like, we already know that it's 12-bit versus 16-bit. Okay. We also know that it's got like a locked in compression rate. Okay. In my brain, I'm like, well, dude, like I'll probably rent one, no joke. I'll probably rent one and just try to break the image a little bit and just see what we're working with. But I mean, honestly, the test footage is great, and I know everyone. I feel like a lot of people talk shit about test footage and stuff, but I know like other people are just way better at it. But some people, again, you have to remember too, like there are certain people out there that are getting paid to make a review, right? You have to remember that too, right? So when I see stuff like that, that's fine. We're not going to get into that right now. But the reality is like when you're getting paid to make a review, it's not a review anymore. It's a paid ad, right? And so like that's where it's a little different with a guy like me, because like, and this is okay. We're gonna get down a different role here, and I don't mean to do that, but like. You know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying. So like you give someone that's not getting paid the camera to go fuck around with it, and it's going to be a little different. You know what I mean? And that's where I feel like and I don't know who gets paid and who doesn't, because not everybody is 100% upfront with that shit, right? In my mind, when I hear like, oh, this is a sponsored video, then we already know that you got paid, right? Unless you're someone that, you know, is like Gerald and says like they gave it to me for one day. They gave him the camera for one day, or so he claims, right? And that's it, you know, and he had to send it right back. So, you know, there's all kinds of different, you understand what I'm saying? There's different shit going on behind the scenes that we don't know about either, right? So that's why I say like we can only know what we know, and I don't care about any of that either, right? Honestly, and I feel like none of you should either. Like the guy that called earlier about the overheating, like you just don't know until you get it in your hands. So that's why if you find one to rent when they become available, that's the best option. Like rent it first. And break it, fuck it up. See, you know, not physically break it, but break the image. That's what I love. I love to break the image, and that's why I love it when people watch some of my videos and they'll talk shit about the ISO video I did. The whole point of the ISO test is to break the image. That's the whole point of the ISO test. The whole point of the ISO test is to break the image, right? And those are the types of things you don't really see YouTubers doing, because one, like I feel like they don't even know what the fucking ISO test is, right? and if you don't, you can go find it in my videos, right? But like that's what I'm saying though. Like that's the type of shit that I like to do. I like to specifically I like to make images that don't fucking look good so I can actually see what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? That's why I much prefer watching these, like anytime these new cameras come out, I try to find people like that don't have like the big following stuff, like actual guys that for whatever reason the camera companies trust or like or whatever, and you see them do something with it, or even you just wait until they become available for fucking everybody, and then everybody starts making all their bullshit with it. Like I'd rather see a moron with this camera than someone that's badass with it. Honestly, I would, because I'm gonna learn more about this camera from someone that doesn't know how to use it than from like a fucking skilled master. You know what I mean? Like if you, and this is what I was talking about, if you watch Roger Deakins shoot something on his phone, well, what the fuck is Roger Deakins, bro? You know what I'm saying? Light it and shoot it, obviously, right? That's what I'm talking about. But like that's not like when I want to learn about a camera, I want to watch a fucking monkey use it. You know, like I want to see like what's gonna happen if it's all fucked up looking. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of guy I am, because then I know like, okay, that's interesting, because the reason why is you're bound to see something that like a really like someone that, for instance, like like if you are like a big YouTuber that's known for making cinematic B-roll YouTube videos, right? Or something like that, right? If you're known for that, you're not going to put out something that looks like trash or ass, right? Because you're going to be too concerned about that. You're going to be like, oh, no, no, no. I mean, honestly, that's really what it boils down to, right? So that's why I say, like, if you just had a bunch of bullshit and then you could really look at it, and then if you could get the raw file yourself, and I'm sure eventually Phil Holland will share the raw files if he hasn't already, because he did that with the Komodo. He took really nice footage of himself with the Komodo before it even got sold, and he was dropping that footage everywhere. And that's what's nice to see. Then you get it, you drop it in. But even then, Phil Holland's gonna have it properly exposed and shit. Like, I want something funky, dude. I want to fucking take that bitch out in the graveyard. You know what I'm saying? Like let's go out, like nighttime, fucking daytime, worst time day shoot, noonday sun, fucking blast it at the sun. Fucking, yeah, man, fucking crank that bitch, dude. You know what I mean? That's what I'd be doing with it. Because then you'll know, like, okay, how far can we recover this? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if you guys know those tests exist. Let it be known in the chat so we can all watch it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's plenty of people out there. I can't know about all the people. I don't know about all the people you guys watch. You don't know about all the people that I watch. You know what I'm saying? It's probably for a good thing too. To be honest, I was considering a Pixis 12K for real, but this ZR got me interested. Yeah, 100%, dude. Like if it like honestly right now, dude, like if I didn't have any camera right now, like like if we were to get into a time machine and it was 2017 and that's when I bought my first camera in 2017, well, cinema camera, well, I guess you could call it a cinema camera, but okay, let's just pretend, right? Let's pretend, yeah, 100%, honestly, I would buy this camera over the Pixis. And you want to know why? Because I'm a little bitch for red, right? Like 100%, like I am a bitch for the red image more than I am for that Blackmagic image. And I know a lot of guys love the Blackmagic cameras. A lot of guys, I mean, even last week we had a guy that owned 2 Arri Alexas in the chat, and he told us that he loves shooting Blackmagic next to the Arris, but he also said that about the C70 too, right? But C70 as well. There's not a C72. I guess it could be the C50 maybe. But anyways, you know what I'm saying, right? But yeah, I would 100% get this over the Pixis any day of the week. And a lot of it too is just because this is cooler to me. You have autofocus with this. So you could do like one-man band corporate stuff with this and be okay with it with yourself. Because I know me, like, I'm not very good at pulling focus. That's another reason why I fucking hated the Nikon lenses, right? Fucking me up. And it's just like having the autofocus and knowing that you can rely on it. Again, I don't know if you can rely on Nikon autofocus because I've never used Nikon autofocus, but I'm just assuming that it's got to be somewhere as good as Sony, I would hope, right? So just knowing that hopefully you can rely on that autofocus, it's just it takes another level of stress out of like my corporate jobs that I love. I love not having to worry about the focus on my corporate jobs, right? Because I have so much other bullshit to worry about because it's usually just a 2-man crew on these corporate jobs, right? So we have to do everything, just me and another guy. Shout out to Tristan. Also, by the way, if you guys watch a channel, Tristan is Charlie Sheen in the new Charlie Sheen documentary. So you got to go check it out, dude. He is Charlie Sheen in all the recreations. It's Tristan. So it's pretty rad, man. Just real quick, just because you guys probably recognize, I mean, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but if you've seen enough of my videos, you would know that Tristan is, let me pull him up here. Let's see. That's Michelle. She was in the red Komodo versus Alexa mini video, by the way. That's her. Okay, so this is Tristan right here. So this is the thing. I took this photo. That's the one in the middle. I took that one of him when we were shooting the Cheech Marin video, the one where he's leaning forward there, the blue shirt. That was on the M10. But this is what I was showing you guys. So this is him. So yeah, you got to watch the new Charlie Sheen documentary. It's pretty nuts. But yeah, I just wanted to give a plug to Tristan. You know him. He's in all my videos and shit. But yeah, he got to play it. That's pretty cool, man. And then he even got to meet him too. I know I get sidetracked, but Tristan's the real deal. He's a dog timer. So there he is with Charlie Sheen. That's hilarious, bro. But yeah, anyways, you guys should watch the documentary anyways. It's hilarious, man. Anyways, features great. Ergonomics are garbage. Not a camera for everyone, but it's a solid offering. He says the ergonomics because it's a baby camera. Yeah, I mean, it's just not. But look, like they're saying, boom. Yeah, pocket camera. That's what I say. It's the best new pocket cinema camera. You got to walk up in and steal some shots. That's why I did the Sigma FP, stealing shots in the liquor store. Heinous, bad focus. Yeah, but still, like, you could do it. You could do it. And this, you wouldn't get bad focus anymore because you would throw that fucking little 40 mil on there. I would throw this little 40 mil on here, and I got tons of filters. I'd throw a filter on that bitch, try to, make it look as soft as I can, and then walk up in that bitch. You know, soft without it actually being soft. That's the key, right? That's the key. We're gonna get 10 of these and a bunch of Sue-Ray Nightwalkers and make a film too cringe for Sundance. 10 of them. We'll make our own Matrix. Yo, I do have a lot of Nikon lenses. Since all my photographers Nikon, I might get one. Damn. Yeah, you can record extremely. You can record externally at least once before your micro HDMI connector snaps off. It gets so hot it just melts. 112 degrees is how hot that camera got, bro. Bro, this camera, oh fuck. See, that happens when I'm reading and it gets jumped, dude. Oh man. Oh dude, Jason Morris in the house. So far I haven't been able to get it overheat. As a Sony shooter, I'm impressed. The micro HDMI kills me though. Yeah, dude, Jason in the house. Yeah, dude, the micro HDMI is, yeah, that's always a bummer, dude. But I honestly think is they don't want you using an external monitor. I mean, clearly they don't. They gave you this killer screen, right? They gave you this killer screen. They gave you 3 different flavors of RAW internally. They clearly don't want you to be using an external monitor. That's hilarious. Bro, this camera wins on some legit fronts, but the crappy ergonomics are no better than BM. It's built like a deck of cards. I don't know, dude. I would still choose this over the BM. I would choose it over the Pixis any day of the week. I totally would. Maybe don't film from an oven. Potato Jet was the incubator guy. Okay. Damn. So, you know, see, Potato Jet doing reviews on this? Come on, guys. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Canon C50, don't sweat all the bullshit. Dude, you can manage the overheating unless it cascades. Sigma FP was a great concept that fell short of the original vision. Maybe so. Maybe so. Angry Rabbit's just mad that it didn't have the Foveon sensor. Yo, any recorder can record ZR HDMI feed. At the moment, the ZR does not allow to save on the SSD view. There's, yeah, this is, so yeah, shout out to Linet Rajictor. They're the ones that sent me the overheating. So we already shared that. If you didn't see it earlier, I shared that overheating stuff that you sent me, bro. It doesn't output RAW over HDMI. Okay, good to know. It's been 22 minutes, not an hour. It's been almost an hour now. Holy shit, I'm way behind. It can record RAW in all flavors internally, so why would you want to use an external recorder? Yeah, I know, that's what I was saying too. It doesn't want you to use external recorder, so whatever. Damn, someone's fucking messaging me on Facebook. Let me close this shit out. That shit's gonna annoy me if I have that blinking. Okay, let's see. I think it can send out video. Oh, yeah. Hey, yeah, let's get the likes up. Thank you, Kirby P Films. Yes, guys, please like the stream so people can find it. It's really so people can find it. I love the swings at Cam. That's a funny little battle. I ain't taking those swings. I'm just keeping it real, you know. Like I just keep it real. Like we know that's why I made the comment about Potato Jet too. We know the people out there that are getting money for reviews, guys. Don't act like this shit don't exist. You know what I'm saying? I checked the Atomos website and it is not currently listed as a supported camera, but there are quite a few other recent Nikon Z cameras that are. Okay. And by the way, he lives in Texas. Who? Cam Mackey lives in Texas? Who lives in Texas? Germany ain't that hot. That's what I was thinking. To date, there is no raw signal out of the Z cameras based on X-Speed 7. I don't know what the fuck that is. From the specs, there's nothing written to say the ZR is different. Yeah. All you need is a pocket refrigerator to enclose your camera. What's the big deal? If it's getting 112 degrees, that's a little weird to me. The body is designed to be a heat sink. Okay. That's what I was thinking too, like Sigma FP style, you know? Didn't we? Yeah, like this style shit. I guess that explains why it gets so hot. But the Sigma FP had this weird coating around it where you didn't feel the heat. So maybe the ZR has that too. It doesn't look like it does though. It doesn't look like it has the weird, you know what I mean? Like, for those of you out there that ever picked up a Sigma FP, it had like a rubbery texture to it. This does, I mean, just the grip, but the rest of this doesn't look like it has the rubbery texture. Anyways, the body, so yeah, I don't know if it is designed to be a heat sink, bro. Plus, I feel like if it was, they would fucking show that shit. Like Sigma did, right? Like Sigma did. That's why they showed it, like to show, like, dude, look at the heat sink. I feel like that would be pretty important to like share with people if that's a thing, right? So we can't assume that this thing has heatsink like the Sigma FP, and they're not showing us. They would 100% they would have that in their marketing, dude. It's nowhere to be found in the marketing here, right? So like look at this trash image. Who cares about the world's most adaptable full frame lens mount? If it truly was heatsink, I can guarantee that image will be swapped with a heatsink, right? That's just, I don't know, that's just my thoughts on it, but I could be wrong. But from a marketing standpoint, I'd be like, I think people would like to know, clearly, because now there's like a little discourse about it, right? So clearly people would want to know that shit. So then they'll probably slowly be releasing it. Everybody's like running their mouth about it. The CPU FGPA chips can run to 100C. If the body is designed to be a heatsink, then it's going to be warm. That doesn't mean it's overheating. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's what I was saying. But again, I feel like if it doesn't have the coating that the FP did, you're gonna feel that shit when you touch it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what up, Jason Morris? There is the 26 mil. Oh, there's a 26 mil. Ooh, 26 mil on full frame. I don't want nothing to do with that, dude. Not as an everyday carry. This is too wide. Oh my god, it's a pancake. You would have to get this. This would be another one about like, damn. So because you gotta have the companion, you know. So yeah, those two lenses would be nuts. The 40 mil f2 and then this 26 mil f2.8. That's hilarious. That's your street lens right there, dude. That's your street lens. That is interesting too, that it has a photo side, because you know, like with me, everybody got on to me using the FP for street photography. This one would be perfect though. It's got it all, dude. That's why I say, if this was me even 3 years ago, if it, just me 3 years ago, I would have bought this bitch hands down. 3 years ago, I would have. Okay. Let's see. 52 millimeter is the standard front for Nikon lenses since forever. Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. That is cool that they do that. That is really cool that they keep. Okay, I'll give them that. So that's awesome, but it still doesn't matter. Their shit still focuses the wrong way, dude. That shit's always gonna bother me. Get the Typoc locking M to Z adapter, then get tiny Voltlander lenses. I already got them, bro. I'm shooting on a tiny Voltlander lens right now, 28 mil, 1.9, the very first Voltlander Ultron. I got it hooked up with the macro adapter so it can focus this close, because that's the biggest downside with the M lenses. A good macro adapter is not cheap. This is a $200 macro adapter. I didn't pay for it. Someone, dude, do you know someone gave it to me? I was buying something on Facebook, and when they got here, they I think they knew who I was, and they just gave me the macro adapter. I was like, dude, that's badass, dude. 52 mil. So if you're watching, dude, thank you, dude. 52 mil is the standard. Yeah, yeah. The idea to wrap bag of dry ice around the camera for active cooling is genius move. Dry ice does not drip, unlike the gold patch from the deep freeze. 100%, dude. Oh snap, Jason Morris in the chat. Yeah, dude, he's been here before. Jason be lurking and let it be known, bro. He's a real deal. Yes, but the clips still look like crap, even if you change the file suffix from NEV to R3D. Yeah, that's what someone was saying. So here's the thing too. Now that we're gonna get back to that. Oh, I closed all my Facebook shit. No, I closed all my Facebook shit. Bummer, dude. Oh man, that sucks, dude. I closed it. All right, I gotta find it now. Now I gotta find the Facebook shit. Dang, that sucks, dude. All right. Hold on. It's long gone, dude. Damn. I'm sure we can find it though, because there's already a dynamic range chart out. But anyways, it was on the Phil Holland post that I had up earlier, where they were like, yeah, it's shit, man, and all this stuff. And I think it was Cine D that already did this. Didn't someone already do it? Where's it at, bro? It's this one right here, ain't it? They were saying like the image is shit. It's shit. Let's see. Let's see what Cine D says about this shit, dude. 24 megapixel full frame IBIS. Oh man, it's so crazy, man. 12-bit. It does have crazy specs though. Hey, no joke. This 32-bit float, have you guys checked out this binaural audio? It's insane. It's like surround sound. It basically records in surround sound with with the binaural audio. It's pretty cool, man. You know, it is cool. It's cool. But like I was saying, I don't know how many like cinema guys are gonna like take advantage of that, but it is cool. Just like I said in the video, dude, they didn't do a dynamic range test. Where did that guy get that? Someone shared a dynamic range test from this camera. Where did he get that from? It looked like a Cine D test. Weird. Is it in this, the hands-on article? Where's it at, guys? Where's the dynamic range test? This dude had one on Facebook, dude. Hold up, man. Let me pull it up over here. Give me a minute. Hold up. There's the specs right there. Hold up. I want to find this real quick. The Phil Holland thing. Damn, I'm probably going to have to go to his fucking page, dude. To try to find this again. Here it is. Open link in new tab. All right, check this out. So this is what I was saying. In here, can you guys see this? All right, in here, a guy was sharing it. People trolling on Phil Holland's Facebook, dude. It's crazy. Look what he said. Can you see this? Trash camera. No codecs on earth would save it. Especially if it's R3D, which provides nothing special like highlight recovery to gain more dynamic range stops. Holy shit, this is wild, dude. So, oh dang, go back. Hold on. So this is the first one. I'm gonna open this image in its own tab, and then look at this. Then he wrote, even worse shooting NRAW, but it's not really that much worse. So this one, oh my god, that's tiny. So this one was 14 stops. See, but what is this from? Like, where did this come from? Like, whose website is this? I'm a test. Like, I don't even know is this Gerald's? Like, who did this? And then this one, so this was the Nikon RAW, and it's 13.8. But I'm like, why is 14 stops trash all of a sudden? Like, this is what I'm saying. What world do you guys think any other like pocket, like all mirrorless cameras? This is the reality of all mirrorless cameras. What I was saying like last week or the week before. Like, dude, the shit that they tell you is like, you know what I mean? Like, but also what they quoted, they only quoted it 15 stops anyways, right? So it's like, dude, it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, isn't that what they quoted it? 15 stops? Where's it at? Yeah, 15. Well, they said 15 plus stops, right? So for them to only be one stop off, right? Or am I reading this wrong? This is 14 stops. Oh, I guess they're looking at this, the 12.3 on the low end, 6 on the high end. So it's still a 14 stop slope though, but still 12 stops isn't bad either. Like that's not the end of the world, right? Like I mean, like, look, for a camera like that, it's like to say that it's like a garbage image. It's like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like you got to take everything into consideration of what the camera is. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I wanted to share that. Oh yeah, Phil Holland in the house. Yo, it's rather insane. You can get a full frame compact mirrorless hybrid that shoots 6K, 60 frames per second in RAW for 2.2K in 2025. 100%, dude. 100%. I'm with you, dude. Look, a lot of people think I'm hating on this camera, but dude, I've eaten the soap. Dude, no joke. My thumbnail, I don't know if you guys have seen Friendship. Friendship's like, I love that movie. I went to the theaters and watched it. I made Marianne watch it. Now that it's on HBO, I'm like, you have to watch this movie. It's so insane. But I was going to do the soap thing. I was going to put the soap in my mouth for the thumbnail because, you know, I kind of had to eat the soap a little bit because all the shit I talked about, the merger, or, well, you can call it what you want to call it, but whatever you want to call it, the buyout, whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you call it. Call it what you want to call it. But I was gonna do the soap thing. But yeah, I think a lot of people were but I'm taking the knee, you know. I ate the pie, like they said. I ate the soap, and like I said though, it's not for me right now though. But I think it will be for a lot of people. Certainly if it is their first, certainly for your first cinema camera. Like, this is insane, dude. This is insane. Can you see that? You can see that. Yeah, these specs are nuts. No joke, Phil. Thanks for stopping in, by the way, dude. That's badass. Yo. I have a Z6 Mark III that does Nikon RAW. Can you actually change NRAW to R3D? That's what he's saying, dude. Try it. Try it right now. What are you doing? Justin, yo, Charles, how dare you shit on this revolutionary piece of technology? My Sigma FP is irrelevant, but so is my Dragon, LMAO. Yeah, Phil, Charles Crepp in the house still shooting on the old-ass Dragon, but he specifically went out and just bought it maybe like a couple months ago. Yeah, I know, dude. I'm that dude. You guys know, like, if there's a joke to be made, if there's some trash to be talked, I'm gonna do it. You already know that. You know what time it is. But look, I think I sang its praises pretty well too. That's why I did Good Cop, Bad Cop. I had to do it that way because otherwise it would have came off wrong. You know, I couldn't figure out a way to make it enjoyable for everybody. Yo, Phil says, I would just use Red Code RAW. 100%. That's what I was telling everybody before you got in here, Phil. It's more about the image processing pipeline that interprets the footage. Red's pipeline is very mature and adopted. 100%. That's what I was like. This was probably before you got in here, but I was saying, why would you want to shoot on any other codec other than Red Code RAW, right? Like, I feel like that would be the whole fucking point. For me, anyways. I know this is different for a lot of people, but for me, I'm like, dude, if I had that camera, I would only be shooting RAW, dude. Like, Red Raw specifically. Phil Holland, hell yeah. Really enjoyed your video last night. Hope you're doing well, legend. Thank you, April Reed. Thank you for that. Yeah, man, it was wild, dude. You know, like 3 videos in 1 week, but I just, like I was saying, I look at it as a comedian. Like, I'm like, damn, there's too much material right now. I got to eat it up while it's hot. You know, I got to eat it up. You guys know how it goes. Savage Filmmaker in the house. Damn, we got some YouTubers up in this bitch. Savage Filmmaker. I liked your newest video, Savage. It was good, bro. Where you kind of like, you know, you keeping it real about how people are just recycling sensors and shit. I like that video, bro. As a Sigma FP sequel with all the things the FP was missing, I'm 100% on board for this. If it's just that, that's a big win for me. as a Sigma FP sequel with all things. Let's see. Does it check all the boxes? Uh-oh. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Not for me. And I'm only bringing this up because you know it's got that photo switch. And because you guys know, like, I am a little bit of a purist when it comes to photography, street photography. Obviously, you can see the Leica M3 back here. I am a huge fan of of actual shutters, right? When it comes to photography. Now, you're not going to get that on the, like, you're not even going to get like the front shutter curtain or whatever, but there's kind of some debate back and forth about front shutter curtain anyways. But obviously it's a cinema camera. I get it. But you know, that is kind of the bummer where like that was the biggest, for me, that was an issue with the FP because of its size. I was loving it for street because it's so tiny, like they said, deck of cards. And I was putting that bitch in people's faces, you know, and I had literally a cap lens for that. It was an 18 mil fun leader cap lens. And then I would go into APS-C crop mode and it turns into a 28. And it was a 28 in my pocket. And it was awesome. But not when the lights go down. And I talked about that, right? And I feel like you'd have the same issues with this. But again, I know you're probably not, no one is buying this to shoot photos on. I completely understand. I get it. But also, even if you were, one thing I will say about it, even though it doesn't have a normal shutter, like, look, the electronic shutter is insane. Like you're gonna get some crazy slow-mo. You could get astrophotography with, I mean, potentially pretty decent astrophotography with 900 seconds. I mean, that's a really nice long shutter. And then, you know, you don't really need an ND 16,000th of a second. I mean, I know we're talking photography bullshit now, but I had to bring that up a little bit. But other than that, yeah, I think it does check all the boxes. You don't have to worry about like not being able to flip the screen around. Here's the one thing though, dude. It still doesn't have the good exposure tools. Phil, if you're still in here, Phil, can you find out why? Tell us if you know anything, why the traffic lights and goalposts could not go into this camera. Like, I'm so confused by that. Because to me, honestly, I stand true to that. Like, that is one of the pleasures of shooting on red. And it's like, it doesn't have that. Like, I just feel like, you know, I really do. I feel like that's the Nike check mark on the Nike, you know, like, what the fuck, bro? Maybe you can speak to that. I don't know if you can actually. Ford camera, it's to load your own LUTs, the baby card. Yeah, it's a LUT thing. It could probably do proxies maybe though too. Does Sigma FP beat any modern camera? What you think? Sigma FP. Wait, what? I think I'm just too far behind the chat right now. Think of the micro SD card as a place to store LUTs. Sure. I heard you can copy files from the CF Express B card to the micro HDMI in camera. What? Now that's gnarly. What are you saying? I don't even understand what you're saying. No. It's the USB-C. It's the USB-C, right? Or what are you talking about? I think it's for proxies. Yeah, the baby card. Nikon has always offered 2 compression, high and low, acceptable. Selecting desired compression is red thing and has not been a thing so far. The display on the ZR is actually really good. Not having the EVF on there helped make it bigger and more useful for sure. Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, if they say this screen is as good as they say it is, then yeah, who cares about an EVF at that point? The downside is, and this is just, I'm absolutely in love with the multi-tilt screen that like is on the A7R5. Like obviously for me, I would have loved for it to done that, like to tilt and then also flip around, because I do think tilting is so much better of an experience for both video and photos. I don't give a fuck. Like to have the screen tilt without pulling it out is so much of a better shooting experience for me personally. But it's just a bummer that it couldn't get it to do that. But I understand, like, that would like open up the back of it a little bit, and they wanted to keep it weather resistant and all of that. I get it. Yo, the USB is class compliant, meaning you can use it as a webcam on any computer. Yeah, just like the A7C II. Also, there are maybe numerous accessories made available later that can, yeah, sure. Micro SD can be V90 and it means 280 megabytes per second sustained, right? Sure, yeah, but that's like what, GoPro style, you know? What are people doing with their cables that they're petrified of mini connections? In 15 years, I've never broken a cable or port. Just get a... Here's the thing. Now, I mean, that's a solid point, Trev. That's a solid point. But the thing is, too, like, it still gets loose. It's not so much that it gets... I mean, that's what's happening. Like, even on my A7C II with these weekly streams, I mean, I've been streaming since, like around the Super Bowl, right? But, like, that USB-C port, all I do is plug the cable in there for the streams, and it's already getting loose over time, right? Like they get loose because it's not as solid as a port. Like, it's very tiny and rickety. In my experience, they always get loose. The actual port will get loose, which means, like, yeah, it's breaking off in there. You know what I mean? Yo. Well, Angry Rabbit was asking Phil if he has a ZR. Phil is like a developer, or I don't know. He can tell you what's really going on behind the scenes in like terms of it, he can tell you whatever he wants to tell you. But I think like he's like what was Robert Duvall in The Godfather, right? He's like that to Red, I believe. You can set the record straight on that, Phil. But you know he's like the damn, what was that called now in The Godfather? What they call Robert Duvall in The Godfather? He's it's not a lawyer, but it's like a word they use to consigliere. What the fuck? I can't even pronounce it right. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. God damn, I'm fucking it up. All my Italian people are hating me right now. Get a cage with a USB. Yeah. Haven't checked. What accessories would everyone like to see? Like say an EVF or cool grip. Nothing, bro. No accessories. That's how you're gonna fuck it up. That's how you're gonna fuck the camera up, dude. Why make it all stupid? No, dude. It doesn't need any accessory, bro. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't need any accessory. It already has the IBIS. If you need autofocus, use the Nikon lens. It has a monitor. You don't even need to use these dumb ports. It's got a really fucking bad... Look, the only accessory I would buy is that new little hot shoe mic. And only because it would be a better, even better audio quality to take advantage of that 32-bit float. But it's for me, I don't even give a fuck about the 32-bit float. So it's this little microphone right here, the MED10. Right, it's the binaural combined with the 32-bit. It's really cool. It really is. I should have praised it a little more in my video, but I was like, at the time I was like, no one gives a fuck. But like for someone like me that you know does a lot of this kind of shit, and YouTube shit too, it's like that could be rad. This little mic with no cables, or even just think about like if all you need to do is go around and shoot some B-roll. You know, if you're just shooting B-roll and you want to get really good audio, damn, here's a question that maybe Phil knows about. Does this camera have overcrank? Like, does it have real overcrank? So one of my biggest complaints about Sony cameras, maybe Jason Morris, maybe people in here that have the camera in their hands, can you do real overcrank with this? Meaning it will record audio with the slow-mo. That would be rad because I shoot almost all of my B-roll in slow-mo. And then to have the audio with 32-bit binaural with this badass little mic, that would be stellar, dude. But if it's like a Sony thing and it turns the audio off, it's fucking pointless. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just thinking like think of that in regards. You could have really nice. It's almost like it comes prepackaged. Like you don't have to worry about it. You know, the audio. I'm saying with how good the binaural is insane. Because I watched a whole video on it. It was really, really impressive. For how much I glazed over it in my own video, I was actually impressed by it. I will admit that. 100%, there's a huge difference between being a PR spokesperson and a review. Yep. A box like what BMD created for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. What? Even with that cage and lock, I seen a video of a reviewer losing the signal by tapping the micro HDMI side. Yes, 100%. That's another reason why it sucks. That's why when I had the FP, nothing was a cable. EVF locked in. I paid that extra money to have that 1 terabyte SSD that locked in on the back side of the EVF. No cables. That's the beauty, bro. That's the beauty. No cables. That's what I'm saying. Keep it cable-less. And with this monitor, with this little LCD screen, it can be completely cable-less. We don't need any cables, right? And so maybe that's why they were like, no, don't put a full-size HDMI in it. Right? Let's encourage people to talk about this screen and show off this screen. Let's encourage people to use it as a pocket camera. Yeah, I can see that, dude. That's cool, man. But yeah, USB port EVF would be cool. Yeah, if they did something like Nikon, does that side just pop off? It does look like it does. Look at the way maybe someone that has the camera, it looks like the thing just pops off. So yeah, I mean, you could easily just make one like Sigma had, like a crazy side EVF. Oh my God, dude, you guys, oh my God, they're talking to my heart. They're talking to my heart here. Oh no. Oh no, I can't spend any more money. Oh my God, they're talking to my heart. You guys know I'm a sucker for that side EVF, boy. Dude, if they made a side EVF, it'd be so hard. I'd be like, oh God, they were really calling my name, dude. Every time I think I'm finished, they pull me back in. I couldn't help myself, so I downloaded some of the sample footage available on Nikon's website. They have it? See, I'm an idiot. I didn't even know they were already sharing it, dude. They already have it. They're already sharing it. So that's rad, dude. Yeah, man. Holy shit, I'm super far behind, eh? Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. Look at the reviews from the real shooters. There's a few that got the camera for a month. Damn. Should we really call new release cameras reviews? Can you really review a camera within a month? 100%. My man Kadeem in the house. That's true, dude. That's what I say too. Like you can't. I know. And like think about that too, like with Gerald. They gave it to him for 1 day. That's like, damn, dude, 1 day to Gerald Undone. But it was because it was like a pro bono thing, you know? So that's wild to me though, because like that guy's putting in the work. You know, I feel like he does a lot, you know, and he only had it for a day. That's nutty to me. But yeah, my ass, dude, dude, I wouldn't even know it was here. Dude, if they're like, you get it for 1 day, it'd be sitting on the porch for like 2 days. I can guarantee that. Or no, like I would bring it in, but then I would forget about it. I've done that with so many packages, dude. Like packages will come in, I just set them down. Not that I'm getting packages like that, but you guys know how my brain works, right? Like I think you figured it out by now. Like my brain is like all over the place, dude. So yeah, that's why I can't do 1 day only. It would be forgotten about. It'd be sitting here so long. I'd have to send it back. They would hit me up. They'd be like, dude, you didn't do the review. It'd be like 3 days later. I'm like, oh damn, I haven't opened the box yet. It's a good point, though. That's how I feel, too, Kadeem. Yo, the point is to learn the limit. Yeah. Mark Bone has some amazing footage in his short the other day. I don't watch Mark Bone videos. A pro will make anything look good. Yeah, I know. I don't want to watch those videos, though. All Nikon cameras have the feature of removable battery door, and you can change battery to dummy one. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, most cameras have that nowadays. Like I call it the doggy door. Even the A7C II has a doggy door. Yeah, I mean that's to be expected. Vin Cut said, I saw Mark Bones short with the camera, beautiful, but he used the Cook SP3, so that's cheating. The Cook SP3 would make any camera shine. He does have a point there, or Vin Cuts, whoever you are. You do have a point there. I love the Cook SP3s. My God, those are my dream lenses, bro. But I don't really care about what Mark Bone does. Yeah, I don't care. There's just some channels I don't. There's some people, you know. I've explained that in my tier list video already. Like there's some people where I'm just like, something about them, dude. True, the Cook SP3 was cheating. This is what the BMP should have become. Yeah, but the problem is like, look, Blackmagic Design. Like honestly, they're like the me of the camera world. You know what I'm saying? They're almost like, I don't know, they're just kind of like out there in their own little universe. You know what I mean? And that's how Sigma is too. You know, there's like some companies that just kind of like playing on their own court. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm sure they're cooking up something though. You know, they always got something nuts. But right now, I think they're just trying to get that RGBW sensor. Right? That still hasn't come out, right? There's no RGBW sensor yet, right? Am I right on that? Like, so I feel like, you know, like, who knows? They'll be 25K if they don't already have it. You know what I mean? The 25K sensor. I just feel like they always come out with some gnarly thing, and you're like, what? Why? Like, what is this? BIMC 4K is still killing it. I still see videos every year of it's worth it. And sure, but it's only micro four thirds. You can't compare that, dude. This is full frame. Get out of here with that. This is full frame, dude. You cannot compare micro four thirds can't shake a stick at full frame, dude. And I shot on the Pocket 4K with a Metabone speed booster for a long time. You guys know that. You can't shake a stick with that shit at full frame. Like I've never gone back. That's one of the reasons. That's another one of the reasons why I left the Komodo. Because of the full, like, dude, when I got there was a period, you know, and it really was the Sigma FP was my first full frame camera. And I'm so stupid, I was calling it large format, which I'm sure all of you know. but anyways, like it was my first full frame camera, so I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. And and then slowly weaned off of that Komodo, and then for a while I had Komodo with FP, and then had Komodo with the A7S3, and then I just kept looking at that FX6. You know, like once I had that A7S3, I'm like, dude, I can't keep going back to Super 35. I just couldn't. And that was the biggest downside of using the FX30, and that's how I was like, no more. Like the FX30 was my last crop sensor camera. I'm like, no more crop sensor cameras, because to me, I can see the difference. And I know like there's arguments or whatever, but I don't care. I don't care about the lens size. I don't care how tiny the lenses are. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I know it's cool. It is cool that micro four thirds have such little tiny lenses, but no, dude. And a lot of it too, really, like Super 35 to full frame isn't that big of a leap. But for me, it comes down to the focal lengths. Again, it all started with shooting street back in 2022. Once you start shooting street, you really start learning the focal lengths, like how they actually are and how they respond to the world and stuff. And so that was when it really started fucking me up, because I'd be shooting street full frame, obviously shooting straight on full frame, right? And then I would do a job with the Komodo, and now everything is Super 35. And none of the lenses matched how it was in my brain. because now it was super 35, and I was like, ugh, you know what I mean? And it's just like, no, I can't do that, because once I started seeing the world through true full frame, you're like, oh, this is how these focal lengths should look. You know what I'm saying? So that to me was the biggest reason why no more crop sensor. And I did after the FX30, no more. I can't go back to crop sensor ever again. And I feel like the industry is going that way too, because now with the, Fujifilm Eterna 55 or whatever, like everything is pushing medium format, everything is pushing bigger open gate. I think the industry is weaning off of smaller sensors, to be quite honest with you. Don't get me started on the Foveon. Everybody loved the Foveon. Nikon has a 26mm f2.8 pancake lens with you could put it in your pocket for real. Yeah, you talking about this one, 26? Are you talking about? Oh yeah, that's the one we already talked about. Yeah, I'm way behind. Just say Lenu. I'll probably get the Nikon Z6, a casual, fun as fuck camera with a AF full frame, shoots a flavor of red and 1.19 pounds. That's less than half the weight of my BM6K Pro full frame. The Nikon Z6 also shoots R3D, shoots a flavor of red. It does. So did every Nikon camera now get red with the launch of this one, or has it always shot R3D? Am I a complete idiot? Has this camera always? This doesn't shoot R3D. What are you talking about? Are you saying it will? You're saying this camera will shoot R3D? Are you hoping it will get the R3D? I don't think so. I don't think they would be allowed to do that, right? And the reason why I say is because this camera is also collabed with Red. Like, there's a reason why this Red stamp is on this camera. I don't think they're just going to give R3D to every Nikon camera now. I really don't. I could be wrong about that. Phil says, I think the key thing is this was designed to be super compact, 100%. If they wanted more advanced cooling, they would have made the body larger, include a fan. Yeah, I don't even care. Like, again, the fan, again, Phil wasn't in here earlier probably, but I don't even care about that. Like I already said, like I was just making jokes with the way, with the thumbnail and everything, because of like the old jokes about the Red cameras in the past and shit. I was just cracking jokes. But to me, like, I don't care what anyone says about a camera overheating. Again, I want it in my hands to see what happens in the conditions that I'm in. I don't care anytime anyone talks about overheating, never care about it. That's why I used to never even include it in the reviews that I would do. And then people would be like, does it overheat? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how I shoot is going to affect if a camera overheats versus what you're shooting. We could be shooting in way different conditions. Not to mention, like, what are the settings? Like, what is the length of how long the camera's on before you hit record versus how long is it recording versus, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's too many variables involved to do, like, to me, that's a bullshit thing to test, because it's just like, no, like, I feel like, look, and here's the thing too, once this thing launches, and if it is a problem, you're going to know about it. You're like, you know what I mean? It's fucking, look at the day and age. You find out about everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are already bickering about it before, like, they've even, like, gotten it, like, in full mass. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just feel there's way too many variables involved with it. I made a joke about it because, yeah, it's a joke, right? It's a funny thing to be noted on. That was all about, like, not having a fan. Like, it's funny, right? But yeah, Nikon users feel firm that, like, yo, it doesn't overheat. I mean, it got 112 degrees and still filled up a 1 terabyte card with red code raw on some German dude's YouTube channel. That's nuts, dude. From Nikon's website, the innovative Nikon ZR dissipates heat throughout the entire body cover, meaning no overheating during filming and no need for a fan. Yeah, so it's that photo that I showed from the German guy's thing. I think we're good on the codex. It's this one right here. Look how hot it got. 112 degrees or 48.5 degrees Celsius. He said it really only got warm at 6 frames per second, but it doesn't overheat in RAW. He filled up a full 1 terabyte card. He had a thermal camera on it, so you can check it out. It's just like the Sigma FP, probably. What is that? The innovative dissipates heat. Yo, off to sleep, homies, and JP. Good night, Koamar. Trevor, you can't use the 32-bit flow audio when recording in RAW. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. It's a cell phone photo of Gerald's review. Oh, that dynamic range chart that I was showing. Oh yeah, he put it on your video, your thing. I don't even know where that went now. It doesn't matter, because to me, I didn't understand that argument anyways, because I'm like, why do we care? Like, what? Like, it's not like this. The argument about dynamic range on any modern camera nowadays is silly to me. I talked about this last week or maybe the week before, because it's like they're all basically the same. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna be horrendous. And it's not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's a silly argument. And then plus two, to say like 14 stops is trash. It's like, in what world? Like, to me, that's like, literally, if it at least has 12 stops, let's rock. That's what I've always said since day one. If it has 12 stops, we're good. I don't even care, dude. I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? So 14 stops to me, it's like crazy to me to call 14 stops trash, you know? Gerald Undone did a DR test, but he didn't apply NR, so it did bad. Okay. I heard they got an extra stop in firmware for production. Yeah, I heard about that too. Oh, here's Phil Holland. He said that if needed, I'll post the Exila, and it's important to test the whole ISO range, and in this case, both dual ISO ratings as a starting point. Yeah, Phil, get it going, bro. You got to get back on the YouTube, what? Colin Thomas said, I think you can do 32-bit in RAW, just not the 5-directional mic thing. Oh, so you can do 32-bit, but not the binaural. Probably. But I think Brandon Talbot did say that you can't do 32-bit in RAW. Right? I think he said it was only available in H.265 or something like that. I got to make this table go higher, bro. I'm hurting my neck. You don't need 15 stops of DR in practice. Yeah, but the camera doesn't realistically have it. But there's a lot of mirrorless cameras that don't have that anyways, and yet they claim it. Like, you know what I mean? Nikon aren't the first ones to do that. You know what I'm saying? I probably made this too high now. Let me know if the audio gets fucked. I got to move this real quick. Yo, you cannot change NRAW to R3D&E. The colors won't match, which is the whole point. Yo, Phil, tell him, bro. Yo, cinema camera. After you're watching your video earlier, you nailed all the points. Disappointing to see the traffic lights and goalposts didn't make it in. Hopefully Nikon will listen. Yeah, dude. Phil, can you speak on that at all, dude? He said, I'd love for them to add the red-centric exposure tools for sure. I've asked. Okay, so he asked him. That just seemed crazy to me. I know I ranted for a long time in that video, but you guys know, like, I said what I said, man. Yo, the micro SD works for all codecs except the RAW ones also, I heard. Yeah, that's nuts to me though, dude. That's crazy to me. Oh, could you imagine if someone bought this camera and they couldn't afford the CF Express card, so they're just recording everything to the micro SD card? Dude, I could see people doing that. Especially if it'll let you record RAW. Where the fuck did that picture go now, dude? Here it is right here. Could you imagine? Oh, dude, I can't afford those CF Express cards, and they just got a gang of these micros. That would be hilarious. Could you imagine giving those to a client? Dude, you would lose those things immediately, bro. They'd be falling under the table everywhere. You could lose those under like a little tiny, you could lose those under a dime, dude. Oh, man. Yo, Justin straight up blocked Diva. He just spam ask about the Sigma P every single time you do a live. Oh shit, dude. Oh my god, dude. Micro USB sucks. I've had them break in my backpack before. Yes, dude, that's what I'm saying. Phil says, I'd say it's early days. Unsure what can and can't be done in firmware just yet. Red exposure tools and OpenGate 6K are the two I asked for immediately. But, oh damn, I just lost what I was reading. Where'd it go now? Oh, damn, I lost it now. Okay. He said he asked for OpenGate and red exposure tools, but hard to know if the hardware can do it. Oh, really? No, come on, dude. See, this now you're gonna get me going, Phil. This is fucked up to me. How are they gonna make a camera that has the... See, this is what I'm saying, dude. He was saying like he doesn't know if the hardware can handle the red exposure tools, or do you mean the OpenGate? Because I feel like OpenGate is more of like a hardware thing. But why is the goalpost and traffic lights a hardware issue? That should not be a hardware issue, bro. Like that should just be a given, right? That should be in the firmware. That should be in the software. It's part of all that shit, isn't it? Or what? Or no, it's not. It's not, because it's reading the raw data. So it's the way it has to be built. So they didn't even build it that way. Is that right, bro? That's fucked up to me, right? That's fucked up to me to say like, yo, this is a Nikon Red collab camera. It's got Red's name on it. And they didn't even set it up to where you could monitor the raw data correctly. Am I saying all this shit right, dude? Because that's what it sounds like to me, right? Because that's really what that's what the traffic lights and goalposts are, right? And Phil's in here, so he can correct me if I'm wrong, and he 100% will, which I don't mind, right? That's the whole point, right? Or anyone else, right? If you know the answer to this realistically. But what I'm saying is, like, if we know that the traffic lights and the goalposts are there to monitor the raw data, right? That's the whole point of why they're there. So if those aren't in this camera, that is a really good point. I wish I would have thought about this before I did my video. Like, to me, that says, okay, so the hardware is not designed to interpret the raw data, but only the raw data of the R3D. this is confusing as fuck. See, this is why I can't talk about shit like this, because my brain, I would have to like really figure this out. Z6 III does audio with slow-mo, so this should too. Okay. Yeah, I hope it does. I hope it does. True overcrank. I call it overcrank. He said, okay, so they asked Phil, yo, exposure tools at a minimum at least, or is that the catch? If you want pro exposure tools, you have to buy into the Red ecosystem. He said, not really a catch, just real early days on a brand new camera system. And I think Nikon will add what they can, especially with user feedback. Hell yeah. And that's why I make my crazy ass videos. Cause look, everyone knows that I'm crazy. Everyone knows that I say dumb shit, but here's the reality of it. People also watch this dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some people in here right now, right? You know what I'm saying? And there's also people also still watching this that don't join the chat, right? So think about that too. And that's why it's good for everyone to make videos, right? Like, and I was talking to Marianne about this earlier today, because I was like, yeah, you know, because up until about a year ago, I would not talk about any piece of gear unless I had used it myself. Right, that used to be like my main thing on here, where I'd be like, no, I'm not talking about anything unless I've used it. And I stayed firm to that for a very long time, all the way from 2019 up until last year. But last summer, I just felt like I can't keep up with this. Like, it's crazy of me to like try to chase this, like I'd have to rent every piece of gear, you know, because companies don't care about the little guys, right? So like, I'm not getting flown every new piece of shit, you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't mean to call it shit, but you know, every new piece of gear, right? So like, it's just a reality of it. So you can't keep up with it. But then I thought about it. I'm like, the reason why I started talking about the stuff, and it started last summer, I think around this time, actually, it was because, well, obviously people still want all the opinions about it. People still want to hear the opinions about it. People just want to hear the hot takes, right? Like what's your take on this? And so that's why I started doing it, because I'm like, yeah, and honestly, that is important, certainly now in our day and age, right? Like, everything is driven by social media. So it's like, yeah, the more the hot takes are given, in my case, maybe just more jokes or whatever, but like, the more that shit is pushed, then companies, if they're cool and they're listening, they'll be like, okay, this is something that people are interested in, right? So like, that's all the more reason for all of you to make videos, right? It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Just make the fucking videos. Yo, Lonely Wrist said he's asked Terrence for a prototype. Yeah, dude. Yo, Terrence, send Lonely Wrist a prototype, bro. They should have pushed this as a ZVE1 competitor and gave a version of this with a bigger grip, side-loading card slots, a full HDMI, and traffic lights, and I genuinely think it would be a must-buy. I hope that this was just a litmus test. Matthew Intil up in here sounded like Gerald Undone. Sounded like Gerald Undone, dude. I think you got poisoned by the Undone Master. No, I'm just fucking with you, dude. No, I feel you, but this argument about HDMI, I think that's the wrong thing to go. That's the wrong thing to complain about. Now, I totally understand the side loading SD card. I'm 100% a fan of that, because you can put SD cards. I mean, cameras have already proven you can put them anywhere, right? So, but here's the thing. I bet you on this little camera, because now we know that it has the heat dissipation, the heat sink, like the FP, right? It's got the fucking FP shit going on. So if it has this type of shit going on with it, it can't side load cards. So that's the whole problem with the FP too. You know, that's why it loads from the bottom. So it's like, okay, so it's just a kind of, you got to take one in the knee somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So let's hope it does have that true heat sink and that it doesn't overheat. I'm just saying, like, yo, if Nikon's out there, if that's the case, you should share that in your marketing 100%. Like, if this thing, like, clearly they know now, like, oh, and maybe they're up there in their Nikon castle and they don't know that, you know, all the non-Nikon guys, you know, we don't know that your cameras have this design, this heat sink bullshit. We don't, you know, we only know the Sigma does because why they showed us. That's kind of how this works. You know what I'm saying? So to not include that, if that is a real thing in the marketing, I think was a very bad choice, especially when you chose this dumb fucking picture. It's like, this is what you chose, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one cares about this, bro. Like, if it has a heat sink, that's where the heat sink photo should have gone. Come on, bro. I didn't even go to marketing school. Concierge. Yes, concierge for Robert Duvall and The Godfather. 100%. Concierge. What did I call it? Concierge? I don't even know what I tried to call it. Yes, concierge. There is a RGBW sensor. There are a few. Out already, though? It's already out? The Blackmagic Design RGBW. No one's talking about that? Or has it already, like, come and gone? There are some things that completely fly over my head sometimes. It's already out and gone. Like, people don't even care about it. Oh, you're right. It's already out and gone. It's already been out. people aren't like going crazy about this. I thought this was gonna be like the new cool thing, the RGBW, right? Like, it's out. They're both out for sure. Both of these RGBW sensors are out, available to the public. And they've been available to the public. That's concerning to me that people, I thought this was going to be like a big thing. Yo, I know we don't believe the reviews, but overheating seems to be pretty well handled. Still, we'll see. I'm very interested to see how this thing pans out. Big agree on no accessories. Yes, dude, keep it small, baby. Keep it small. Like this guy right here. I'd be like him, bro, but not with that lens. I hate lenses that do that. I hate the protruding. It just looks not cool, dude. It's not cool. I know, I'm that guy. 17K, yeah, I saw that. I don't ever really understand the micro four thirds versus full frame debate. Like, do people not light their shots? That's not what it's about, dude. It's not about the lighting. It's about what I told you. It's the focal length difference, dude. That's what it's about for me. I don't give a fuck about the lighting. I'm gonna light it regardless, and y'all are gonna hate it regardless. No, dude, I'm talking about a 28 it should always be what I expect it to be in terms of how it looks in my brain once you like, I'm telling you. If you don't know focal lengths like that, just start shooting street on a full frame camera. Just go now. Start shooting night photography right now. Go now. Like, take a full frame camera. Just start shooting street with one lens, your favorite lens, whatever you think. Because here's the thing too, whatever you think is your favorite focal length right now, it's not gonna be when you start shooting street. I'm telling you that right now. Your favorite focal length will change when you start shooting street. And I don't know, like, no one cares about street. It doesn't really seem to be on this channel, but there are some out there that are a fan of it. And honestly, I don't know. I think it's a good way to learn your focal lengths, 100%. And you will learn how you see the world. Like, you got to go watch a video I did. I did a video on this, choosing your 3 focal lengths. You just check out my archive. It's me like holding up my hands like this, and there's like 3 shadow lenses on there. Go check that out if you haven't seen that video yet. I break it all down in there. It's mainly a difference for natural light, I think. He means Z6 III can be matched to a red camera in post via red engineered color correction. Okay, sure, like a color space transform or something. How many real shoots actually use natural that you wouldn't use ND on? I'm not talking about that shit, bro. But yeah, I use ND indoors even. I use ND all the time. Even in my newest video, my split screen video, I use 3 stops of ND on that. Like, I use ND all the time. There's always ND in my camera. That's why, another reason why I love the FX6 so much. But like, it's not about that though. I already explained what it's about, bro. It's not about the lighting, dude. It has nothing to do with the lighting. Sorry, typo. ZR autocorrect on iPhone turned it to Z6. Oh, okay. I think he's talking about the red LUTs for N-Log. They have a compressed RAW in the Z6, which is why they got sued and bought red. Yeah, I know. We all know that. You can retroactively decode in red RAW with NRAW footage now. Yeah, that's what I showed that. I showed that already, bro. How can you do that? Does it really work? Yeah, they literally just changed the what's it called? The prefix or whatever. You know the stuff that comes after the dot. You can just change that. You can just change that shit. Like, see how this says .jpeg? You just change that to R3D. Apparently. I mean, that's the way I'm interpreting what they're all saying. I got one on pre-order. I'll run it and see how it holds up. Damn, bro. They're all the same. They all claim 15 to 17 stops and give you 12 to 13 in real life. That's what I'm saying. All these mirrorless bodies, they all do. There's nothing special about any of these when it comes to dynamic range. That's what I'm saying. That's why I've always, if it's 12, let's rock and roll, dude. And they will be. They will be. Trust me, they will be. These cameras have been 12 stops since the little baby pocket, you know? Like, it's just how it is, dude. Like, to sit here and debate about dynamic range on these little tiny cameras is funny to me. It's funny to me, dude. It's like, it doesn't matter, bro. They're all going to be good when it comes to dynamic range. Who cares? Who cares if it's only... I don't even care if it's 12. Who cares? Yo, I think it's still in beta, but I believe it's looking really promising. I think it's all about getting people into the Nikon ecosystem. That might be the goal of this camera, not to satisfy the working professionals, obviously. No, 100%. That's what I agree with too. This is the best entry-level cinema camera. Like, imagine if you're just entering film school right now, 100%. This is the cake, dude. Especially for $2,000. It's like, wow, dude. Like I said, man, if this was me a few years back, I would be in there. I'd be a Nikon man now, you know what I mean? But it's just not how the universe pans out. Let's see. All right, we probably got to wrap this up soon. Let's see. I believe traffic light I believe traffic light interpret the data pre-bear, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, Phil probably speaking on that. Each camera is limited by the sum of all the parts. Software requires memory and even the ASIC to support whatever specific feature. If there's room to do things that are asked for, they will do it. Yeah, Phil in here. Yo, I can live without OpenGate since I don't shoot anamorphic as much, but the exposure tools are like clutch. That's what I say too. I'll have one in hand in LA on October 22nd to the 23rd if you want to link up and run it through the paces, Justin. Yo, Lonely Wrist, that's awesome, dude. Send me a DM or email me. I'm over on Instagram at KidTech. It's KIDDTECH, KidTech, 2 D's in the kid. Or just email me, jp@justinfilm.com. 100%, dude. Let's make a video, dude. Let's do it. Or if you also have a channel, we can collab. I don't care. You know, we can cross-pollinate. Whatever you want to do, dude. Yeah, I'm down, man. 100%. That's right. I mean, that's not that far away. Consigliere. Yeah, consigliere. That's what it was. I'm the Phil, you're the consigliere over here. Come on, Phil. In regards to the MFT versus full frame, I made a database on what equivalent lengths and apertures you'd need to be able to match the blur circles on full frame and physically impossible to match a small sensor of full frame. I mean, look, they all have that. Even Phil Holland. Phil Holland's in here. He has great tools on his website where you can match frames. I don't want to, nah, dude. I'm not doing that shit when I'm already there on the day. You know what I'm saying? And you guys know by now, I'm a very impulse-driven dude. I'm very spontaneous. I get inspired on the day. I grab a lens, I throw it on. I expect that lens to look the way that it looks in my brain, how I'm used to it looking when I'm out on the street. You know what I'm saying? So, other words, you know, like if in the previs, if we decided like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot this on the 40 mil. Let's just throw it out there, right? Then on the day, if shit ain't looking right to me, I just can't. It's like, no, give me the other one. You know, I'll grab a different lens. And the reason why is because I already know in my brain what that lens is gonna look like when it's full frame. So that's where it gets into the pickle. When I'm there on the day, being spontaneous AF, you know, and it's like, I expect those lenses to look the way that they're supposed to look. And when you're working on a crop sensor, it's not really going to work like that. In my experience, you know, but I work in very small crews, very, very fast paced shit. You know what I'm saying? So things go very fast. By the way, guys, I don't know if you saw some of my newest shit. There's a new heavy metal video, that I was the DP for Eric Richter again. I've done like 6 videos with this guy now, and this one's wild, dude. This Lights Out right here, Spite Lights Out. It's already got 44,000 views, so I've done me a couple heavy metal videos now. This one was really fun, but I just thought of that because of the thing. And then there's also a pilot that I shot, if you want to check it out. Very low budge. Oh, it's on this playlist in here somewhere. Oh, I think I dropped it on the post page, right? Like over on the post page, there's a pilot that I shot. Really, oh, I didn't drop it. I didn't drop it yet. Okay, I'll drop it tomorrow. It was the music video I dropped. I'll drop the pilot tomorrow in the post tab, so look out for that. It was like a 30 minute pilot that we shot. We did it in 4 days or some crazy shit. He says, Phil says, I mean, if you want more dynamic range, you'll be looking to a larger production camera, 100%. Different price point and size for sure, 100%. That's what I was talking about last week too, Phil. You weren't here for that one probably, but yeah, dude, that's all I'm saying, man. It's crazy of me. Like they're all the same shit, man. I don't get worried about that. I know we're all nitpicking at this camera. No, we're not really nitpicking it. You know, we're not nitpicking it. We're kind of just like, you know, we're going through it. You know, we're just going through it. He said, but I can tell you right now, Nikon is going to sell an absolute truckload of these cameras. Yes, I agree with that. But I do think the majority of those people will be people that haven't quite entered fully into another ecosystem. If they have, it's 100% Nikon or Red, right? You know, just saying, you know what I mean? Because like for like Sony and Canon guys, this is not enough to make them jump ship. You know what I'm saying? Like it just isn't. Like but I don't think it was designed to do that either. Like I think clearly, again, because of the screen and because of what this offers, this was certainly like the first of all, it's like the first little trickling, you know, like Nikon Red collab, like first little trickling, like, oh yeah, feed the little goldfish, right? Like we know that. But it's also like, this is, again, in my head, this is like the original Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. This is like the Sigma FP. This is like that niche little camera for the ones just entering, you know, entering the arena. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the camera to get. And I'll tell everyone that from now on, someone wants a camera for filmmaking and you know, they're brand new or whatever. 100%. I'll refer them to this. I don't even fucking, Nikon hates me. I don't know. These guys don't ever talk to me. You know what I mean? I've talked enough shit about everybody in the industry. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm clearly not a shill for these guys, but at least I have my wits about me to know, like, yeah, this is the camera I'd recommend to me 5 years ago or longer than that, however long I've been doing it, 7, 8 years. So I would hands down recommend this to anyone else that comes to me now. You know what I'm saying? Because this is where it's at. Like, to me, if you're starting from the beginning, you know what I'm saying? You don't already have invested a bunch in other lenses and all of this. Now, the funny thing is if I really wanted to get crazy, I could throw my Sony lenses on this, but you know, I'm not into collecting cameras. You know, I'm not into collecting different ecosystems. I don't have the time for that. But again, yeah, entry level, 100%. I really think that's why this camera was. I really do think so. I don't think this was made to be like, not even like a Komodo OG. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. Like, this is on it's on that same path as Blackmagic Pocket Cinema cameras and the FP, Sigma FP. It's in that same boat. And I call those like, you are now entering the game. You know what I mean? Like, this is perfect way to get in. You know what I'm saying? You need like a F5 to match a F2 on full frame. That's another issue too. And it's not, and I don't really care about that for the lighting so much. Again, I don't care about that because I light everything. I always bring lights. Like, I don't care about that. But to me, it is the shallow depth of field. Because look right now, I'm right on top of these shelves. And I'm shooting on a 1.9 full frame with the A7C. Let me go full frame for a minute to fully, so you can fully appreciate this, okay? The audio might jump here. But this is full frame. Now, I do have a really heavy filter on the lens. It's a black satin 3, so it does look a little gnarly. But the lens is very old too. This lens is from like the early 90s. Okay, it's an old Voltlander Leica M lens with the macro adapter, so I can focus this close, right? Because Leica M lenses, you know, they're limited to like 1 meter close focus, right? But I'm literally like, I'm right here. I'm right on top of this shelf, and look how shallow this is, right? This is another reason why I love it. For me, being someone that shoots a lot of run and gun, low budge, ultra low budge stuff. Like, I'm on a job this week for 4 days. We're shooting in a little apartment in Santa Monica, right? Full frame all the way, just to get that little bit of separation. Just and people always, I hate it when I see people online talking shit like, oh, you just make everything blurry, like it's the Canon days or whatever. And it's like, no, it's not about that, dude. It's just about having that little bit of separation, bro. Like, that's all I want, right? Like, that's enough to just like, I'm popping here a little bit, and a lot of it, you know, has to do with like just that shallow depth of field is helping me out right here to just keep the focus on where I want it. Even though I know for these live streams, it doesn't really matter, because I'm like that little big in the screen. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's those little things. But honestly, it's not even that. For me, 100%, the way my brain works, I'm so anal. It is about the focal length thing that I was preaching about earlier. It's like, it's about those focal lengths. Like, I want those focal lengths to look how I'm used to them looking on the day when I'm just grabbing lenses and ripping and roaring and going a million miles a minute. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's about. But yeah, 100%, it's a big deal with the f-stops too. They say the best camera is the one you have with you. Yup, 100%. He said, but that's not true. The best camera is the one I have. Everyone else is wrong. Yeah, dude. Everyone seems to be like that in the space, for sure. Yeah. And I think maybe when I did my Sigma FP video, I'm just assuming that people thought that, like, how, you know, and I think it's because, and I learned, and that's why I don't really do reviews like that anymore, because I learned, like, if you're brand new to my channel, and most certainly that was hands down, it's still my most viewed video. It has almost 400,000 views. And so I think like a lot of people watching that have never seen my videos before, and they don't understand the type of human being I am. I'm just passionate in general. Like, you guys know, that's why, honestly, that's why I started doing these live streams, because after all, like the battle started and everything, I realized too, like, I don't think a lot of people know that I joke around a lot. And certainly what happened over on Threads, that opened my mind a little bit, where I was like, oh, these guys think I'm serious when I make jokes. And I'm like, no, I'm making jokes to make jokes, dude. Like, and so, and that's another reason why I started doing the live stream, because I wanted people to like see the type of human being I am, see like how my brain actually works. Because, you know, a video is just a video, you know, but here on the live, I can't pretend as much. Like, I'm still a performer, you know, because I've been acting since I was a teenager. So I'm still going to perform to some level. But at the end of the day, like it's harder to perform when you're live like this off the cuff, like responding to chat and stuff. Like, but to me, I wanted to do that so more people would understand. Like, oh, he's a little different. He's very passionate just in general, which I am. Right, like I'm just passionate about. I could be passionate about anything. Like, oh my God, what are we eating for dinner? You know, but it's like it's just the type of human being I am. It's not like I'm like, buy this now, you must have this, you know. And I think people I think people when they watch the Sigma FP video, I think they mistook my passion for salesmanship or something. Or and it's funny to me because like Sigma didn't even know I existed until I made that video. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, that's not what it was, bro. Like, that's just how passionate I was about that tool. But I learned a lot about how I come across, obviously. and we continue to learn every day. That's hilarious. Oh, man. If it ever goes on sale to like 1,500-ish, it won't even stay on the shelves. I don't think it will. I don't think it's going to drop any lower than that. Like, I don't think it can. I think if they drop it any lower than 2,200, it's just gonna lose money. I feel like. DM'd on IG. Okay, thank you, Lonely Wrist. Nah, bro, that's all you. I'm a watch YouTuber, not a camera YouTuber. Okay, but you're probably gonna be in the video though, unless you don't want to. I mean, you should though. I mean, if they're sending the camera to or you're buying the camera, you should be in the video, bro. Lights Out looks fucking sick. Oh, thank you. Yeah, dude. That's Eric Richter's the director on that. Amazing director. He directed all those videos. Like he directed the Harper one I did. He directed the Poison the Well one I did at the Fonda Theater. He's like one of the best directors I've ever worked with, hands down. As a DP, he's one of the best directors I've ever worked with. Just because he's a so creative guy, and he shoots too. Like he's fairly new to working with DPs and hiring DPs, and that's what's fun about it too. Because he's kind of, but dude, he's killer. Yeah, he's got a wild style, and he works with amazing artists. Yeah, it's been a lot. And you know what's funny, guys? I got hooked up with him through this YouTube. He watches me on YouTube, and that's how he found out about me. And he started hiring me, and I was like, damn, that's the real deal. That, you know, something like that is like, damn, that's like one of the cool things to come from YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Okay, Lonely Wrist. I think it appeals to the A camera red users. Could be even like a little BTS production camera or just something to streamline the color workflow. Yeah, I mean, honestly, even wedding guys. I feel like wedding guys are gonna be all over this, and I think even the wedding guy that I watch every now and then, he's got a big old beard. He's pretty cool. I think he even was kind of praising this pretty heavy, and I think he is known as the wedding videographer. All right, so we got to end soon. Gracie's about to lose her mind, boy. We're almost done here, guys. Gracie's losing her mind. She's over it. Here she comes. Here she comes. Let me see her. Let's see if they want us. Gracie, you want to say hello? Let's go full screen. She's going to wig out. I can't work this fast enough. Yeah, let's go full screen. Say hello to everybody. She likes stretches. Oh, yeah. She just squeaks. She's not actually hurt. She just squeaks. She's very vocal. She's just like her owner. Very vocal. Let's see. Okay, we'll wrap this up, then we'll get out of here. This has been a good one, though, guys. 2 hours. Man, this is a good one. Okay. Sorry, 0.9, but still they don't make those. I don't know what you're talking about. Justin rocking the black satin because that boyish skin is getting older. You already know. No, dude, I started, well, that is one of the reasons, but also the black satin 3, I started using that on the RX1 R2 because I love the way that it looked at nighttime. There's something about the black satin that it's so good without like destroying the highlights, because some of the diffusion filters, it kills the highlights, kills them. One of my favorite images that I ever took with the Sony RX1 R2. Oh God, I don't even know where it is right now. I gotta try to. Oh, let me go back to screen share real quick. I just want to show you like why I started using. It's on my old website, I think. Why I started using the old ass filters. All of these, honestly. So I was the gaffer on this Janice Ian documentary. I don't know if you guys saw the Janice Ian doc. It's been winning a bunch of awards. Rolling Stone did a big write-up. I was the gaffer on it, and I even shot a little bit a B cam for like one of the, I think it was when we were in Nashville. I shot a little bit of B cam, but I was mainly just the gaffer. But all these BTS photos I took with my RX1 R2, and they all have the black satin. Look what it does up here. You see this? It's like, I don't know. I love like the way it responds to the highlights. look at this. And I was just like, damn, this is so nice. And I've always like used the Black Satin 3 for that. Mainly for how it responds to the highlights. I just really enjoy it. But yes, 100%, it definitely softens the skin without losing the contrast though. You don't, for some reason, it doesn't lose any contrast. There's Tristan. He worked on that too. Charlie Sheen right there. He worked on it too with us. Anyways, all right, we're almost done. We're almost done. He says he has Pro Mist on everything. Yeah, 100%, dude. Haven't dived into the Pro Mist hype. Yeah, Pro Mist is a little exaggerated. Talking about Eric Richter, the director of the Spite Lights Out video. He's in love with Pro Mist too. Even though I did finally get him to try a weird one. It was just some random Firecrest filter I had, but he's like, Black Pro Mist 1/8. He's obsessed with 1/8 Pro Mist. And yeah, it is a, you know, no shade to Eric. He knows I love him, but that filter is a little cliche. That's why, and I believe I even told him that. But that's one of the reasons I don't really mess with Black Pro Mist too much. But Black Satin's my jam, like 100%, usually always Black Satin. Let's see. And yes, angle of view versus compression is so important. So you're so fucking right about Super 35 bothers my eyes now. It is true though. Yeah. I love Pro Mist to knock that contrast back. Never comes off the lens. Yeah. That's what I mean. I don't, for some of them though, it's too much of a loss of contrast. It just depends what you're doing, right? It all depends what you're doing. Such a grumpy little BB. Who, me? Oh, the cat. Indeed grumpy. Yeah, dude, that's a Devon Rex. They just have that as a resting face. So I am JTM. My issues are card slot location, micro HDMI, and how it only seems good in R3D, but doesn't seem built to main that. Yeah, I think you're late to the chat. You're gonna have to rewind because we definitely discussed all those topics. But thank you for being here regardless. Colin Thomas, what's nice too is the R3D RAW files are easy on computers while editing 100%. Try the Canon codecs and your computer struggles. Yeah, I don't really know too much about the Canon. I mean, I did mess around with some C80 footage. Somebody sent me some C80 footage last summer. I was gonna do a video on it and then I just never did. I never got around to it. But I didn't really notice a big problem with the C80 footage. It was whatever they have raw, whatever C-Logs raw is or whatever. But yes, 100%. Komodo R3D was nice. Even HQ handles really well. All right, guys, that's going to do it. That's just how H.265 does 422 10-bit. Yeah, 100%. Okay, dude, we're out of here. Thank you guys so much for stopping in. Peace and love to all. Thank you for those calling in. Hit the like button. Check out the links down below. We got new